All right, getting back here to where I was before. I have got a Rube Goldberg machine of lights and charging cables. You think it's easy getting this dual camera shit working? No. I mean, would it be easy if I had real equipment? Sure. Do I have real equipment? No. Welcome, everybody. My name is Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. If you were here before, I asked everyone to go do something, go fill out a form, and I didn't give them permission to fill out the form. Because I'm a professional. Hey, Jen, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll let some people get in here. Feel free to share the live if you want to help get people here. For those of you who have been here before, look, I have dual cameras. My dual camera is back. Huh? How exciting is that? I don't think it's exciting for anyone but me. Hello, rug cleaner machines. Do you rent them or make them or use them? I have many dirty rugs. I have one that's sort of a giant shag carpet. It's an absolute disaster to vacuum. Everything gets caught in the vacuum. It's a disaster. Is there a way to get ChatGPT to remember steps to instructions if they are longer than the limit? No. But if you go to po.com, so the third thing right here, right there, and you pay their $20 subscription, you get access to, there's a Claude model called Claude Instant 100K that has a 100,000 token limit, which is about 75,000 words. So with Poe, with Claude 100K, you can get much, much longer things. Oh, manufacturing and distribution, very hard. Thanks for asking. Man, there's so much. I can't even imagine all the stuff that you're going to be able to do with all this ChatGPT stuff with manufacturing and distribution, especially when, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch YouTube videos on Code Interpreter, where you're going to be able to take a lot of your data for what you do and do all sorts of crazy stuff with it. So, hello, Lauren. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Oh, great. There's a bunch of folks here. Welcome. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I'm an entrepreneur. I've started 12 or 15 companies in my day. This channel's really just about talking about AI, answering questions, demystifying it, hopefully getting people as curious and excited, I guess is the right word. I'm cautiously excited about generative AI. I think it's one of the most profound technologies in the history of the world. I really do. And my context for that, I was there for the early days of the World Wide Web. I started one of the early digital agencies, a company called agency.com. And so I got to experience watching, the World Wide Web do what it did from the ground up. And this stuff seems like that, only a lot more profound, and it's coming a lot. By the way, if you've been here in the past week, or no, it's probably been like 3 weeks. They took away my dual cameras. They took away my ability to do both of these picture-in-picture things. They gave it back to me tonight. I don't know why, because TikTok. Anyway, if you've never used ChatGPT, go to that top URL, chat.openai.com. That is ChatGPT's official website. Just go there right now. Go there and start playing until you have what I've been calling, your Kevin McAllister moment, your Home Alone moment. At some point, it will do something that will blow your mind. And at that point, then you'll go, well, holy crap, what else can it do? And then you're hooked. This URL right here, prompts.chat. If you don't know anything about ChatGPT and haven't even heard of prompting and you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, prompts.chat will tell you what it is, how ChatGPT works, and it gives you a whole long list of ideas of things that you can do with ChatGPT. Then Bing.com is Microsoft's search engine. So if you go there and click on the chat button, that's actually ChatGPT 4. And it's connected to the internet, and it's free. And you can make images with it. You say, make me an image of a cat surfing, period. And it will do that. It uses DALL-E, which of all the image generation tools is the crappiest, but it still makes images that you ask it to. It's pretty cool. And then Poe.com gives you access to 6 different models from 3 different companies. So if you've got questions about AI, pop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. Another request. So for the past 2 nights, a couple of folks have asked, do I have a workshop? And the answer is no, but I now have a workshop graphic. so I did this today. I put my face on there, but you don't need to see that twice. So I have a graphic now. But I was thinking about what do I want to do for a workshop, and I thought, well, it shouldn't be what I want to do for a workshop. It should be what's most needed. So I created a survey. So if you go to Linktree /real Kyle Shannon. I just put the capital letters there so that you can read it easier. It doesn't matter though. But if you go there, the first link is a survey that I've now given everyone permission to. So if you could just confirm that you actually have permission to take the survey, that would be great. But if you go there, tell me, it's just 3 questions. It's just basically like, what are you trying to learn? Like, what would make the biggest difference for you? And what results would you like to see in the next year, right? So if I can just get a sense of what people are trying to accomplish, great. My initial instinct is to do kind of a 2-day, 2-hour sessions on 2 different days, where the first one is just kind of a primer. Here's ChatGPT, maybe here's some image stuff. Send people off with some homework and, go play. Homework for me is going to be like, go play. And then come back the next day and talk about what's a project in your life you want to make some progress with, and then together we'll do that. But if you would do me the favor, go there, fill out the survey, let me know if I did a workshop, what you want to accomplish, and then I'll do it based on that. Sorry, I just ate, so I've got semi hiccups. They're not quite, they're just anyway. Welcome. If you have questions about AI, pop it down below, and I will do my best to answer it. Love from Pittsburgh. What's up, Pittsburgh? I grew up in York, PA. York, Pennsylvania. Then I moved to New York City. Out of school. I went to Penn State. Can ChatGPT teach you about poker theory? Oh, yeah. So go to... You'll notice most of the document are all these personas. So like act as a mathematician, act as a screenwriter, whatever it is. Go look at how those prompts are constructed, and then tell ChatGPT to act like a championship, poker player for competitive poker, and it will teach you poker theory, like really well. Okay. Jay Knizzle, thank you. You're welcome. Rug cleaner machines, thumbs up, awesome. Hi from Oregon, welcome. Hello, I'm in Denver, by the way. Someone says they love me. Awesome, thank you. I appreciate that. Thoughts on prompt engineering trainings and badges? I saw something and then I saw Vanderbilt University is offering a class on Coursera. Dual camera is back, Sonia. Yes. And by the way, I saw Sonia, you and the fundraising woman have started showing up in my feed now. So it's cool to see you talking about ChatGPT. That's pretty cool. But yes, dual camera is back. Why? I don't know. I guess I was a good boy and they gave me back my dual camera. So here's my thoughts on courses. So people in here are asking me to do a workshop. So I think it would be disingenuous of me to say that courses are a waste of time, because I'm thinking of putting one together. I would take everything you learn in a course right now with a bit of a grain of salt, because not because the courses aren't bad. Like, do I think there are people out there that know enough about this stuff now that they can legitimately teach a course? Yes. But I think it is as valuable, if not more valuable right now, to teach yourself, to just play, to get curious, to just start playing with these things, figuring it out for yourself. If the course can help accelerate that, great. But don't put too much weight on it, because 6 months from now, everything's going to be different. So whatever you learn in the course right now, some of the core concepts around prompting may be valuable, but I think even prompting is going to change dramatically, because one of the trends that I'm seeing in prompting right now is writing prompts to get ChatGPT to give you better prompts, or to prompt itself. So ChatGPT effectively acts like your prompting coach, and kind of guides you through it writing prompts to give you what you want. That's a trend I've seen recently. That's going to happen more and more programmatically, where the need to do really sophisticated prompting. If you're on the development side of the world, if you're an engineer and you're developing product, then yeah, definitely need to learn this. If you're an end user, I think the tools are going to get increasingly sophisticated. So, so I would just, find someone that you don't mind their voice, because sometimes courses, like I'm just listening, like I'll watch it's funny when I go to watch YouTube series when I want to learn something, well, pre-ChatGPT, when I want to learn something, I go look for all the videos, and my first criteria is, can I stand their voice? And if I could stand their voice, then I would listen to them. Because if I couldn't, I'm just like, nothing goes into my brain. Can it help with farming? Yeah, I mean, I think here's the thing about, and please let me know, I'm pretty sure that when I switch cameras, it delays for a second, so please let me know if that's still the case. The thing about these large language models is the depth of knowledge that they have is staggeringly deep. And so things like farming, where there's lots and lots of stuff on the internet, these large language models have essentially been trained on all of the public internet. So the trick is getting them kind of molded into the expert that you need. So it depends on what you're doing with farming. If you're doing like big commercial farming, say, hey, you run a commercial farming enterprise and you're an expert in that, and I want help on either the economics or on fertilizer or on cycling crops or whatever it might be. If it's smaller scale, then have it be act as an organic farmer, and I want to be able to have the same results as a big commercial farm, but I want everything to be organic, and then start interacting with it. The best way to interact with these tools is really to think of it less like you have to get the perfect answer the first time, and more like you're having a conversation with it. So kind of set it up as the expert that you want it to be, and then start interrogating it, and yes, it will help you a lot. It can help you a lot. Prompts.chat is Simeon D from Bulgaria. Oh, that's cool. Did not know that. Much love from Pittsburgh. What is Nova? I don't know. When I was a kid, Nova was a PBS show about science shit. When did they bring back dual camera? This afternoon, apparently. I went to go live, and there it was. Because I've been looking for it every time I go live. I'm like, is it there? And then today I didn't look for it, and it was there. So there you have it. Dual camera is back. What's the best email to reach you? If you go to that link, my email's in there. And then at the top, this workshop, by the way, if you're new here and didn't see this before, a couple of people on the live had said, hey, would you put together a workshop? I have not put it together yet. I have put together a graphic. I have a graphic now. But the first link at that link tree is a link to a survey. So tell me the kinds of things that would make a difference for you in a workshop, and then that's what I'll make the workshop around. So it has not been built yet. I don't have timing for it yet. I I'm reticent to do a workshop if it's not good. So I want to make sure it's good and it serves everyone. So that's why I want to do the survey. Ba-da-ba-ba-bum. To reach out and ask you to join in on a presentation. Oh, that's great, Poos Pop. Yeah, happy to talk about that. I am, I don't know. As you can imagine, or as you can see, I'm pretty passionate about, talking about this stuff wherever and whenever. Have you heard about Bidensor, Decentralized AI? No, Bidensor. Is that how it's spelled? Oh, Bit Tensor. Bidensor. Yeah, he's clever. Bit Tensor. No, I haven't. Let me go look at it now. Bit Tensor. Bidensor. Internet scaling machine learning. Open incentivized, decentralized, and user governed. Build. All right, so you can go build some shit. There's a white paper. Cool. I'll check it out. Yeah, I think that's interesting. I mean, with all the open source large language model stuff, I think a decentralized AI, the ability to do it, what would actually be really interesting there is if, I don't know if that project is going to get there, but if there's a way to do decentralized training where you could do a foundation model in a decentralized way that could compete with OpenAI or Google, that could be interesting. Yeah, that could be really interesting. So thank you for sharing that. Hello from Canada. Hello, Liza. What do you think about the app Ask AI versus Chat.OpenAI app? The reason I have these things on screen all the time when I'm talking is OpenAI is the one that, like ChatGPT, GPT-4 right now is by far the best of these large language models. There's just nothing even close to it. The open source things are getting close to 3.5, and in fact, one of them just surpassed 3.5 in a big test. So they're coming. Bard's not even close. The Llama models aren't even close. The Claude models are decent, and they've got some features that are different. Those are from Anthropic, but those are a bunch of ex-OpenAI folks, so they should be good. So if I don't know what features Ask AI gives you, but I assume it's just kind of a prompt engine sitting on top of the GPT 3.5 or GPT-4 model, which so is ChatGPT. So for me, I'm using ChatGPT. I just think it's like, especially if you're the Plus subscriber there, they give you early access to their technology, and it's just better. Like GPT-4 there versus GPT-4 at Bing, they're just totally different experiences. So, hello from Allen, Texas. Wow, cool. I love that we got people from all over. I'm obsessed with ChatGPT and Bing Chat. I know, it's like once you have that moment of like, oh my God, this isn't just Google, right? This isn't just a fancy Google. Once you have that moment, I don't know, it's hard to not think about it all the time because it's just, oh wait, response to the survey was submitted. Thank you. That's awesome. Here's what the survey looks like. Look, I did that image in Midjourney. Isn't that slick? Because it's like books and learning and laptops and the dude at computers learning AI in a lab, huh? All right, let me go to the form. See how many we got. Forms. Responses 1. All right, Megan. Thank you. If you haven't filled out the form, if you would be so kind, go to there, linktree.com/realkyleshannon. There's the first link is a form to just ask questions about, if I were to do a workshop, what would you want in it? And then I will go build it that way if I feel that it's something I can deliver. And I will not build it if it's something I feel I can't deliver, because that's how I am. Da, 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 da. I'm excited to do the course. Awesome. I've got to create the course. I'm thinking, Blissful Mama, of a 2-day, 2 2-hour sessions. One is kind of a primer session, and then one is kind of hands-on. What are people trying to solve, and do some specific projects where we get everyone started. That's what I'm thinking right now. It's a quick delay, but not bad. Oh, when I flip the cameras. Okay, great. There's a brief delay for me. Yes, the delay is back. Maybe 2 or 3 seconds. Okay, so I got to remember to wait that long. So hopefully that was good. What did you say to watch on YouTube? Where did that comment go? About coding. Okay, Daisy. So if you have not seen videos of people using Code Interpreter, go do that, especially if you're into data analytics in any way. So just go to YouTube, type in Code Interpreter ChatGPT, and Code Interpreter is basically a new feature coming out from OpenAI, so from ChatGPT. So right now, if you pay for GPT Plus, you get GPT-4 connected to the internet, and plugins. The fourth mode is called Code Interpreter, and it allows you to upload data, like 100 megabyte spreadsheet of data, and it will read it all, and then it does full data analysis. You can just start asking it about it, like what are some interesting trends in this data? Are there any anomalies in the data? Can you create me? Ethan Mollick, the Wharton professor, today just did a post on LinkedIn where he asked it to create 3-dimensional data of word embeddings, like large language model vectors, and then he asked it to add a 4th dimension, and it added colors, and it created an animation with colors. Like, it's insane. It's insane. So just go watch videos on that, because most of them are the ones that are really fun are data scientists who look at what Code Interpreter does, and they're like, oh shit. Like everyone does. Every time someone uses ChatGPT for the thing that they do, they're like, oh, this is good, right? Yeah. Are there possible legal ramifications around using AI for anything anti-government? Not right now. And if you really wanted to do that and you're worried about it, I mean, Apple is the only one who has consistently resisted allowing backdoors into users' data. Everyone else has sold it out. Even fucking what's it called? The Ledger, the NFT, the hardware wallet. There's a fucking government backdoor for the Ledger NFT wallet, or the blockchain wallet. So yeah, I suppose there's a risk. To the extent that you trust Google, or to the extent that you trust OpenAI and Microsoft, it's there. If you really want to do that, go play with the open source stuff. That doesn't have any restrictions on it anyway. SETI at home for model training. Oh, actually, yeah, SETI at home. It would be really interesting if you were doing SETI at home training and you got access to their data. You could probably do some really cool data crunching with Code Interpreter with that. I don't know, but possible. Do you know of a directory for plugins? There's a plugin for plugins, and you can also search for them. So hasn't played with. What just happened? My dual camera just went away. The hell? God damn it. Oh, TikTok. I don't want to leave and come back. Anyway, I'll just do plugins for now. Okay, so if you want to use plugins, you have to be signed up for GPT Plus. You've got GPT 3.5, GPT 4. When you, if you pay for ChatGPT Plus and you don't see Browse with Bing and plugins, you have to enable them in your settings. So go to your settings, and in one of those settings is beta features. You have to turn them on. And then when you go to plugins, you now have this pop-up list of these are all the plugins I have installed. And then I can enable up to 3 of them in a given chat session. But if I want to find more, I have to go to the plugin store. And then the plugin store has 154 times 4, like, I don't know, more than 600 of these bad boys. So I could search for something. If I wanted something on SEO, I can type in SEO and it'll go find me all the SEO-related plugins. But there is a plugin. Pluginpedia. So let me go back over to here, and I will turn off this other crap and turn on Pluginpedia, which just by its name probably means it's going to suck. And that's the thing about, there's Pluginpedia, so I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to turn these other things off. Oh, Yabble I want to play with. Pluginpedia. Recommend plugins in the store based on your question and introduce their usage. Okay, so I'm going to say, I want to improve, let's see, my website. Well, let's just say I want to improve my website. Let's see what it comes up with. That's great. Improving a website can da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It didn't fire off that. All right, so I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to say, what plugins can I use to improve my website? All right, there it's using Pluginpedia. Here's some plugins. Auto Infra 1. Netfinity, Netlify Drop. So this probably answers your question. Be forewarned with the plugins that most of them suck. They just suck bad. But it was like it's very much like the early days of, I can't believe I lost my my dual camera. What the heck, TikTok? What's going on, man? Don't get heavy on my scene, man. All right, let me hop over, and now I got to turn on my background again. So now I'm back to green screening. Do you have TikTok Studio to do screen streaming? I do not, because I'm on a Mac, and they're like, "Hey, if you're a Mac user, go fuck yourself, loser." And I'm like, but Macs are cool. And they're like, we don't care. We're TikTok. So if you know anyone over there and could get them to make a Mac version of that software, I sure would like to use it. But I would also like to use Code Interpreter, and OpenAI hasn't given me access to that. Can you please restate the 4 modes of ChatGPT? Yes. Well, and there may be more than 4. These are the 4 that I know of that are eminent or here. There's, well, here, let me go show you. Again, let me flip my damn camera. Oh, TikTok. You know, when a 58-year-old man is, breaking your damn software. Okay. So there's GPT 3.5, which they also could call GPT Turbo. That's not as good, but it's fast. It's really fast. So if you're doing something where you don't need sophisticated writing, you just want speed, that's the one to use. Then you've got GPT-4, which I currently have access to 3 modes. There's default, which is, it basically goes until September 2021. Then there's GPT-4 connected to the internet. There's times I don't want it to go out and search the internet because it just confuses things. So I'll often use, like if I'm just doing writing, like creative writing or something like that, and I don't need access to modern or recent information, I'll just use default. Browse with Bing is GPT-4 connected to the internet, and then there's plugins. And then the fourth mode of GPT-4 will be code interpreter. And I saw one of these lists that had like 6 or 7 on it, but I don't remember what the others were. But code interpreter is the one I'm excited about and waiting for. But it ain't there. If you want to go anti-government, get a virtual server in a country that doesn't comply with U.S. laws. Yeah, just go hang out in all the Discord servers with the crypto bros. They'll tell you how to do all that stuff. Do you have TikTok Studio to do screen streaming? We talked about that. Resigning letter? I'm not sure what that means. Do you want me to resign? Should I write a letter to do that? Or you want to write a resigning letter? Can it do one? Yeah. let's go write a resignation letter. This should be fun. I'll use GPT 3.5 since that's the free one because it'll do this good. Okay. I have been working at my job for 12 years, and I am resigning. Here's a list of grievances, and then I'm hitting shift return. I'm going to do a bullet point. Wasn't listened to, wasn't paid enough. Let's see. Wasn't listened to, wasn't paid enough. Was talked to rudely. Worked beyond expectations without acknowledgement. Good things. The CEO is nice. Co-workers are smart. And company is interesting. Whatever. And then I'm going to say, please write me a resignation letter to Sally, boss lady, who is the CEO, that is both professional yet clear and constructive. I want the letter to help them improve and not burn a bridge. So this would actually be a really good thing if you're really emotional about like resigning and you just can't come to do it. This might be a good way to do it, because one of the things about this thing is that it's incredibly, it doesn't have emotion, so it just doesn't give a shit. Let's see. I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to formally resign from my position as blank at the company name, effective whenever. Over the past 12 years, I've had the opportunity to grow both personally and professionally within the organization. I'm grateful for the experience that I've gained in my tenure. I'd like this opportunity to express my appreciation for your leadership and the positive culture. Your approachability, willingness to listen, and support for your employees has been invaluable. Additionally, I've had the pleasure of working with intelligent and talented coworkers. The work we do is fascinating, right? So it captured all that. While my overall experience has been positive, I feel compelled to address some of the concerns. Firstly, I felt at times that my ideas and suggestions were not given adequate consideration. Furthermore, I'd like to discuss the matter of compensation. Additionally, there have been instances. So this is a nice, long, thoughtful letter. It goes on and on. I could say, can you make it more conversational and make the constructive points, let's see, indented paragraphs, format using Markdown so I can see the structure better. Oh, it's doing it as code. Let me stop it. I don't want Markdown code. I just want to see the formatting. So it didn't quite get the Markdown thing, but let's see if it did any better. I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to formally resign. I'm grateful. I want to start by saying how much I appreciate your leadership and the positive culture. So it doesn't look like it made it super conversational. It did give me little subsections encouraging open dialogue and idea sharing. There have been instances where I felt that my ideas and suggestions were not given sufficient consideration. Evaluating compensation structures, right? Promoting respectful communication, recognizing employee communications. So if I were a boss and I got a letter that were written like this would make me, sit up and pay attention to it. So I don't know if that's what you were asking. Emilio's wife, what's happening? Make it yourself. Can this ChatGPT work Excel docs? Yeah, it can do so. What's cool about this thing, I can say, make a table comparing EOS leadership system with two other competing systems so I can compare them. And so it will write you, this is GPT 3.5. Look how fast it is. Isn't that mind-blowing? like every time I do this, it's like, Jesus, really? So you can just copy and paste this into an Excel file. You can also have it do number. You can copy and paste Excel into this and have it find things. Now, it's not doing calculation, so it may get the calculations wrong. But if you want to do something like, how can I combine the contents of two cells in Excel into a third cell, question mark. So you use the concatenate function, and I say, can you give me the formula so I can copy paste? Certainly, here it is. So it's just concatenate equals A1 plus B1 or equals concatenate. What if I wanted to do more complicated formulas for combining data, question mark. Concatenate, text join, concat, right? So it can just do it. So it's not doing, this is not a replacement for Excel, although when you go to, oh wait, hang on, I gotta hold. I'm so cranky that it took my dual camera away. Um, so if you go to prompts.chat, one of the first things you'll see in the list of things it says act like an Excel spreadsheet. So it can probably do some simple Excel spreadsheet stuff, but the way I've used it is just go back and forth between Excel and this, and copy data from Excel and tell it what you want to do, and then it'll create formulas for you. There's also there's a ton of these now, but the one I know for Google Sheets is there's a plugin, or there's an extension called GPT for Sheets, where you can do OpenAI calls within cells in Excel. It's fucking wild. I don't know Excel well enough to know how to really use it well, but it's really good. And just know that both Google and Microsoft are rolling ChatGPT, or Bard in the case of Google, into their Office products, all of them. I had ChatGPT write a similar letter today, Kyle. Wow, Emilio's wife. Well, good, awesome. Tell him where to shove it in a nice professional way that doesn't burn a bridge, right? I mean, I've had a couple of tough conversations with people at work that I was really anxious about the conversation. I came straight to ChatGPT and I said, "Here's the situation. Here's what's going on. Give me some pointers." And it provides remarkably empathetic and nuanced response. It doesn't have empathy, but it understands empathetic response, and it understands nuance. And especially when you're dealing with things that in today's society are very polarizing, you can actually get it to give you a balanced view of both sides. It's quite interesting. We're here for information, not a typing lesson. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, hopefully that gave you information. I mean, in me typing out that letter poorly, hopefully it at least gave you some of how I think about it. So if it is not of value, I would not stay. I wouldn't stay and watch me. Looks like we have a bunch of new people here. My name is Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. These URLs behind my head, why do I have them there? If you haven't used ChatGPT, I would strongly, strongly, strongly encourage you to go to that top URL, chat.openai.com. That's the official ChatGPT website, and start playing. If you've never played with it and don't know at all what it is, it kind of looks like a Google search box. You type in it and stuff comes back, but it ain't just Google. It's not just fancy Google. It's way, way, way deeper than that. So this URL, prompts.chat, is a little primer on how to write prompts for that thing, and then it gives you a whole bunch of ideas of things that you can do with it. So start playing with those two. And then the other two, Bing is Microsoft search engine that also has ChatGPT in it. So does Poe. And then Futurepedia is a directory of like 3,700 AI tools. So that's what those are. If you have questions about AI, pass them down below or paste them down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Hard pass, my job would not like that. I'm not sure. Oh, hard would not like that letter. So yeah, here's the thing. If that letter, I assume you're talking about that letter that I wrote. If it gives you something that you don't like, then tell it that. Tell it what's wrong with it. If it's a hard pass, why is it a hard pass? Like, explain to ChatGPT why the letter that I wrote would not work for your company, and then it will rewrite it. What's the favorite thing I've gotten AI to do for me? Probably the thing that is the most impactful in my business. So my company's called Storyvine. Actually, there it is backwards. I'm wearing the shirt tonight. And it's a video technology company that we've got an app that guides an end user step by step through telling a story. So part of the creative process when we create a template is we have to write the prompting questions that person answers. So we do a lot of work in pharma. So if we're having a patient talk about what it was like being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, we got to write those prompts. And that creative process is with a combination of an agency, a pharma client, and our team. And we know how to write these prompting questions, but agencies don't. They know how to write questions for traditional video shoots. And the clients often don't know how to write them at all, but it was this horrific, confusing mess. And so what I did was I built a prompt writing tool where we take a Google form. We ask the client some questions. What's the story you want to tell? Who's talking on camera? What are they talking about? Who's the audience? How are you trying to affect them? And then in the ideal video, what would the person be saying? So we get some inputs. We type those into a Google form. We hit submit. And then it sends to our Slack channel 3 sets of prompting questions, a short, a medium, and a long set of prompting questions. And they follow our format exactly, and they're as good or better as anything that we would have written. And it's cut like 2 or 3 meetings out of the creative process. Because normally just explaining to them how we do our prompts and and then they're like, they want a 2-minute video, but they come back with 17 prompts. We're like, well, no, you can't ask 17 questions or you're going to end up with a 30-minute video. You want a 2-minute video. So we got to, so all of that's gone. So now we just ask them some questions and we say, okay, based on what we just talked about today, here are some starter questions. And, behind the scenes, we've kind of pulled them out of Slack, thrown them into a document, and then we pop it on screen. So that one's good. If you go to, there's a place called, there's a site that I do some work for called Content Evolution. If you go to contentevolution.net, there's a tool on there called the Challenge Engine. And again, it's a form that you answer some questions about a challenge you're having for your business, and it responds to you with a set of, here's a bunch of questions you should be asking, and I think it's 6 or 7 different categories, strategically, from a brand standpoint, from a customer standpoint. So those content generation engines are pretty fun. The image that's behind this, so I don't know if you can really see it, but there's a little chin down here. That's sort of my mouth, my nose, and then this crazy eye here. This image for me was I probably made, 2,500 images using Stable Diffusion and Dream Booth. And when this image came up, when I generated this image, I had this visceral response to it where this is the kind of art that I would have created had I had the technical skills to be able to do it. And I don't. And so the fact that Stable Diffusion generated, that I generated that using Stable Diffusion, that for me was a real eye-opening moment, that with these generative AI tools, the distance between having an idea and executing it is much shorter than it used to be. It used to be, if I wanted to do something like this and I didn't have the skills, I'd have to go find someone on Fiverr, or I'd have to go find stock photography, or I'd have to go find 8 pieces of stock photography and Photoshop them together. And it was, it just often wasn't even worth it to bring an idea to life, because it was, you didn't have the budget or the time or whatever it might have been. So for me, it's just that idea that almost anything I can think of, I can now execute to some level of professionalism within minutes. And then I can spend the rest of the time either coming up with new ideas or really refining that idea. I'll use it when Google integrates it. ChatGPT was far nicer than I could have been on my own for the resignation letter. Yeah, I totally get that. What's Poe? Okay, let me go show you Poe. Let me flip this on around. Okay, so we've been playing with ChatGPT. So Poe's basically just like ChatGPT, but let me go to Poe. So with ChatGPT, you have this is your big long chat history. At Poe, these are actually all different tools that you can use. So Sage is their version of ChatGPT, GPT-4, Claude Plus, Claude Instant 100K, Claude Instant, and ChatGPT. All of these are different ChatGPT models you can play with. The second 3, or the 2, 3, and 4 here are subscription only. But this one right here, Claude Instant 100K, that means 100,000 tokens. So that's like ChatGPT 3.5, but you can put in a 75,000 word prompt. So the prompt could be an entire novel. And then you could say, write me an epilogue to that novel, or write me the first chapter of the sequel. And then you can play with ChatGPT 4 here. The other thing that you can do here is there's bots. And the bots are fun because, like, there's a Midjourney bot. Like, let's go play with that one. So the Midjourney bot, if I come here and I say, image of a penguin in the rainforest, it will then rewrite that prompt. So, color photo of a penguin in the rainforest, waddling through the undergrowth, surrounded by lush green foliage, misty atmosphere, serene ambiance, Canon EOS R5 camera, Fujifilm Velvia 50 film, 300 millimeter lens, high shutter speed, right? Wes Anderson, Roger Deakins, Tim Walker. So the bot has been pre-prompted to be good at Midjourney, but there's thousands of these things now. So here's comedy bots, here's education bots, here's sports bots, here's ones that are new, here's programming bots. Here's a bot that'll run your Python code. Here's an HTML bot, JavaScript, right? What's cool about them is this button right here is create a bot. So I can actually go create my own bot. So I've created a Shakespeare bot. I've created a Sling Blade bot. I've created a Yoda bot. So you can go create your own bot. You have to put in a prompt and you have to put in some description stuff. But once you put in your prompt and publish it, it's immediately available in the, for everyone to play with. So it's a good way. It's a good way for you to experiment with prompting. Here's a life coach bot. Hi, I'm a life coach that can help with difficult situations. Let's see. I type too slow and people don't like my face. I'm sorry to hear you're struggling with those issues. Low self-esteem and insecurity can be difficult to deal with. Can you tell me more about why you feel that way? 'Cause shame is my love language. Shame can make you feel small and unlovable, but you deserve love and fulfillment. So anyway, that's what Poe is. Fun. Someone in here once described it as kind of the play school of ChatGPT, like the play school version of ChatGPT, which I don't disagree with. It's a little simplistic in its interface, but it's cool. What was I doing? Oh, I've got to add my thing back. My background. I don't have to, but I like to. I like having my URLs up there for new folks. That's a subscription. I don't know what how do you create an AI? Interact with your fans in comments of your social media page. So you can, one of the tools that I've been using is Zapier for automations, zapier.com. And you can create a bot there. One of the things that Zapier just added is a whole new section called interfaces. And you can create chatbots as an interface that you can insert into a website. So if you don't want to learn the coding, you can do that. You can also do it in Python, and if you do know programming, you can go do an embed within your website. But it's basically just a call to OpenAI. You're basically taking some inputs from the bot. You've got a system message that tells the bot how to behave. And then you take the input of what the user gives you, you send that to OpenAI or to whatever large language model you're using, and it sends back the answer. Is there a way to have ChatGPT review large data sets? It seems like not large amounts of data. So Albert, yeah, that's what I was talking about with Claude Instant 100K on Poe. Again, you have to have their paid subscription, which I think is $20. You can do 75,000 word. It's got a 75,000 word context window, so you can put in rather large documents there. If you want to do truly large amounts of data, multiple documents, things like that, then I would go look at a thing called LangChain. It's going to require you to be a little geeky. You gotta install some shit with LangChain. It's 4 or 5 different services put together. What you're doing with LangChain is you're actually embedding your documents, and putting them into what's called a vector database, which is basically just an augmentation to the core model where you can kind of GPT your own data. So if the 75,000, if the 100K token thing on Poe doesn't work, then I would say go explore LangChain. I need an unlimited version of GPT-4 Plus. Any suggestions? You can use. There's a site called GPT Boss that you pay. You basically buy credits and then you use as much as you want, and that's GPT-4. So I'd go check out GPT Boss. But there may be other things. I would say go explore Futurepedia. I think all of them you're going to have to pay for because the calls to GPT-4 are like 10x what GPT 3.5 is. So they're likely going to be charging you no matter where you go. But I know that GPT Boss is not throttled like ChatGPT. Like ChatGPT is throttled to like 25 submissions every 3 hours. I've never hit that, and I'm sure I've done things where I've done more than 25 calls. So I don't know that they're enforcing that, but that's a limit there. GPT Boss doesn't have that limitation, but you're basically just buying credits. So if you use it a lot, you'll pay more. And I'm scrolling back. I lost my place in my questions, so I'm going back and try. It helped me write my resignation letter today, far nicer than I would have been. Can you tell it to professionally state that you fucked around and found out, and now I'm resigning? Yeah, you could absolutely do that. I mean, you could literally say that. There's this meme going around, and here's what it is, and here's what it means, and here's the situation at work. The thing about ChatGPT is the more context you give it, the better it gets. So you could absolutely say, here's my situation. Here's who I am. Here's how I perceived what they did. They fucked around. Now they're going to find out, right? You could put that all in there and then just have it rewrite that in a professional tone, or tell it to write it in a snarky ass tone, and you want to burn a bridge. Like I don't know where you are. Like if you want to burn a bridge, it can probably help you, get some tight words in there. I assumed. Wait, why didn't you do this last night, Kyle? Why didn't I do what? Oh, write the resignation letter. Sorry about that. Timing is everything. And I don't know if you were here, Emilio's wife. They gave me my dual cameras back, but at some point it just disappeared from here. So I think I have it back now, but I somehow lost it. So ChatGPT only does writing. It does only do writing, but not really. So let me go show a couple of things that it does that make it not quite writing. So there's a whole bunch of things coming. So GPT-4, the underlying model is multimodal, meaning that it does both words and images. But the current implementation of GPT-4, you cannot upload images. But it's going to be that it will be able to upload images, and I assume at some point it will also output images. But it doesn't just do writing. It can also do code. So write me a Python application that generates a rotating sphere made up of, I don't know, cats. So it will write you code, and now you can take this off and, use that code. But it can also do things like, if you're using Unity or Unreal Engine and you're using scripting within those things, it understands all that. So you can say, you could take the code from a Unity plugin that generates some sort of cool animation, pop it into ChatGPT and tell it to modify the animation to behave the way you want it to behave. You can have it write in Markdown a brochure for my cat renting business. Which, by the way, there are a couple of cat rental businesses in Denver, and like you basically pay by the hour to go hang out with cats. It's like, but anyway, like see how it made this bolder, right? So it's doing that. I could say, please rewrite that, write that in HTML. So there's that. There's also, because it's doing Markdown, there's ways that you can get it to display images. Let me see if I can go pull this off, because this might take me too long to figure out, but let me see. ChatGPT tarot card with images. A prompt that generates a tarot card reading. Is this a tarot card reading with embed? Show prompt. Okay, copy prompt. Okay, so now I'm going to go here. I'm going to do new chat. I'm going to just paste this prompt in. So this is kind of cool what this is doing. So the first half of it says you're going to act like a tarot card reader and you're going to insert a random number. But then at the end here it says your output will be in Markdown with the 4 sections in bold. Here are the tarot card references. So it's actually putting tarot card URL references in here. And so now when I go, so let's see, is this, you're going to act as, pick a random number. Okay. So now I'm just going to hit return. So now it's going to make a reading, and it's actually pulling in the images. These are I think from Wikipedia, and it's automatically, that one broke, but it's automatically pulling these in. It's explaining them. It's giving you interpretations of them. And then you could obviously go and you could modify the prompt and do, the sort of tarot card thing of your choice. So while it's only doing text, it understands code well enough that and there's services out there that run on code, right? So you could take the XML from Adobe Premiere or Final Cut Pro and pop that XML into ChatGPT, tell it to interpret it, and tell it to give you a completely different edit, and export that XML, put it back in Final Cut Pro, and it will do that edit for you. So it's way more than just writing text. It's doing magic. It's doing magic. You know what I mean? It's doing magic. Ask it to tell you something positive about Donald Trump. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take the bait. We're not doing that polarized shit. Not in here. Why are you typing with one hand? I'm typing with two. It's like that thumb on the space bar and like those 4 fingers. Like I'm a 5-finger typist. It's 2. Painful. I would absolutely encourage you not to be here if watching me type is painful. I would leave. I would absolutely leave. I encourage it. I had ChatGPT write a similar letter today. Okay, we did that. No, I'm trying to catch up with where I was. Okay. Ba-da-ba-ba-bum. We are here for information, not a typing lesson. Oh, I saw these before. I saw these semi-trolls before. What's your favorite thing you've gotten AI to do? We talked about that. Okay, can I please explain plugins? What are they and what do they do? Yes, I will do my best. You're going to have to watch me type. All right, I'll try to keep the typing to a minimum. Okay. So when you've got ChatGPT Plus and you've turned on your beta features, you have to do that in settings. Then you have access to plugins. So let me explain what these three modes are. The default mode is ChatGPT 4, and the base large language model has been trained up to September 2021. The reason for that is to train the base model is a very labor intensive. It involves lots of humans manually tagging data, and it's very, very time consuming. It's very, very expensive, and it involves many GPUs and compute time. So they can't update it in real time. So the hedge against that is you connect the large language model to the internet. So basically you do a search, the large language model says, hey, he's asking for the score of, the latest sports game. I don't have that in my data set, but I am connected to the internet. So it essentially just fires off a plugin that's the Bing plugin that goes and searches the internet and then incorporates that answer into the answer. So Browse with Bing Beta is basically that base model that can now search the internet. Plugins are kind of one step above that, where each plugin is going to a specific site or a specific service, and based on your prompt, it will determine, I need to use a plugin. I can't just answer that. What he's asking for, I actually need to pull up a plugin. So let's go to plugins. I'm going to turn that one off. I'm going to turn on, because this is a good visual one. Where is it? Instacart. So now I've got an Instacart plugin. So it's a shopping plugin, but I don't want to shop right now, but I do want a meal plan. Give me a, fair warning, I'm typing. Give me a meal plan and I know I could use the microphone, but I don't feel like setting it up because I have ADD, so leave me alone. Give me a meal plan for a insect-based high-protein diet. That's disgusting. Let's see what it does. I've never tried this before because I don't think Instacart can go get me dried cricket flour, but maybe it can. So wait, what am I starting with? I'm starting with cricket flour pancakes, mealworm tacos. Oh my God, this is disturbing me. Cricket bolognese. Oh my God, what have I done? Would you like a shopping list for these? On Instacart, yes. So when I type yes, it's now going to fire off of that plugin. So it says using Instacart, and it's grabbing whatever my ingredients were and sending it off to Instacart, and then it's going to generate that 1 cup crickets. It's going to be interesting to see if Instacart actually can go get insects as part of the shopping list. But now I click on that link and it's taking me to Instacart. So what the plugin did in that case was it actually was an API call to Instacart. The large language model wrote the content of the query, sent it to Instacart, and then here it is. Did it find... Look at that, 1 cup of cricket flour. Oh, but there's nothing there. 1 cup of mealworms. I guess I'm on my own for insects. 1 cup of crickets. All the crickets are not available on Instacart. But anyway, that's how plugins work. The thing about plugins right now is they're pretty janky and bad, and it's not super obvious how to use them. And even Sam Altman from OpenAI has said that they haven't found the product market fit for plugins yet. I think largely because they're kind of half-ass implemented. So we'll see if they get better. I've been watching your stuff for about a month now. Thank you for teaching us how to utilize AI. You're welcome. Oh, by the way, it looks like we've got some new folks here. I want to show you one thing and make a request to you. So in the past couple of days, people have asked if I would do a workshop, like a hands-on workshop. I don't have the workshop yet. I made this graphic today, but this URL right here, I put together a survey. So if you go to linktree/real Kyle Shannon, it's a link tree. The first link there is a link to a survey. It's just 3 questions, just asking you, like, if I were to do a workshop, basically what would you want to know? What's the thing that would make the biggest difference for you? Because I don't mind putting together a workshop, but it's I don't want to just assume I know what's best. I want to do it in a way that serves people as good as possible. So if you'd go there, just do a quick screenshot of that, and then go to linktree/real Kyle Shannon. First link is the survey. If you're interested in a workshop, if you're not, don't do that. But if you are, or would potentially be, I would appreciate the feedback, and then I will figure out what to put together. I'm thinking right now of kind of over 2 days, like 2-hour sessions over 2 days, where the first one's kind of a primer, and then go play that night, and then you come back the next day, we talk about what we learned, and then talk about specific projects and how we might attack those, is what I'm thinking. But I'd really like your input. Is it okay to go to the bathroom while watching you? Absolutely. And if you want, come up on stage. We can, while you're going to the bathroom, we can have a conversation. You can go to the bathroom with ChatGPT. No, you're lagging. My job wouldn't like using custom plugins, Google native code only. Oh, I see. Yeah, a lot of companies right now are a little skittery about AI, and justifiably so. Now, when Google gets their shit together and integrates things, as you say, when Microsoft does that, like right now, you can do a lot of OpenAI stuff within Azure cloud services within Microsoft. So I've got a lot of our clients are big pharma clients, and I've been talking to them about generative AI, and their response is basically like, no fucking way. And then I say, but it'll be on, virtual machines in Azure cloud. And they're like, oh yeah, we can do that. So that's going to be a hugely important part of all of these tools. And it's there's a professor named Ethan Mollick that I talk about on here a lot. He teaches at Wharton, and he just did a piece called "Detecting the Secret Cyborgs." And what he's talking about in that piece is that individuals are using ChatGPT and generative AI tools as personal productivity tools, but businesses on the whole are not jumping in. So the businesses aren't using them, individuals are. And then the individuals are not really sharing that they're doing it, right? Because maybe the company has a policy not to do it. So they're like, well, I don't want to be fired. Or maybe they're now getting done in 4 hours what used to take them 30 hours. And they don't want to tell anyone that because they don't they don't want to be expected to do more to get their pay cut, right? And so what he's talking about is that gap. Like it's incumbent upon the companies to make a safe zone for employees to say, hey, we want to learn about this shit. We want to use this stuff. If you're using this, you're not going to get fired. In fact, the CEO is looking for a lesson. Can anyone give Bob a lesson? Bob wants to know about this. Be the person that raises your hand and goes and teaches Bob how to use generative AI. I mean, this is no different than 1994 when the World Wide Web came out. Like, a big part of my job as an agency owner was going into the board of directors and teaching them what the internet was. We literally would cart in computers, plug them into a phone line in the wall, and have our computer dial up the internet. And we would show the board of directors. I remember we did it for MetLife. And it was the chairman of the board, 2 other board members, the president, the CFO of MetLife. And I'm like showing him the internet. I'm like, oh, look how fucking cool this is. And I said, fucking, And I remember our client for years after that would be like, "Oh, Kyle, remember when you swore in front of the chairman? He thought that was funny." That's the biggest thing that ever happened to them. So yeah. So companies are going to be a little conservative with this, but be the person in your company that is known for, oh, that's the crazy person. Be the crazy person. Here's to the crazy ones, right? Can you please share a demo of Adobe Generative Fill with a painting? Sure. Are all the AI chatbots paid for use? No. The reason I have 3 of these up here, Bing.com is free. And Bing.com, if you click on the chat button, it's GPT-4 connected to the internet for free. You can generate images there. So that one's completely free. ChatGPT and Poe are both free for the lesser models. GPT 3.5, Claude Instant, Sage. If you want the fancier models, GPT-4 and the Claude 100,000 token thing at Poe, those you have to pay for. So you have to pay here, you have to pay here, you don't have to pay there. And there are probably I know there are others like this shit. These guys invented ChatGPT. These guys incorporated it. You can play with ChatGPT here. So all 3 of these are just different doors to play with that. But these are the guys that invented it. So if you're going to pay for a subscription, I'd pay for it there. Unless you need the 100,000 token model. So I'm paying for both of those because I'm an idiot. All right, let's go look at Generative Fill with Photoshop. If you haven't played with this, it's staggeringly fun. All right, so we are going to go, let's go to the internet. We'll go to old Bing. I've got Bing as my default search engine, which I can't believe. If you'd asked me 6 months ago if I ever would have a Microsoft browser as my default browser and Microsoft search engine as my default search engine, I'd have laughed at you. Let's say famous. Oh, this is painful. Famous paintings. What you can't see is I'm typing at essentially eye level. All right, so I've seen it done with this one, the Vermeer. See more. Let's go get a bunch of these. I don't know. Starry Night's cliche. That one's nice. Oh, this will be a good one, actually. Oh, let's do this. Yeah, let's do... Well, do we want to do that? Nah. Let's see. Yeah, I'll do this one. All right. So I'm going to copy that image. Okay, so... So I'm going to... So if you've got... I don't just have pictures of me everywhere, I promise. Seriously. Okay. So I'm gonna create a new image. I'm gonna paste that in. So I'm in Adobe Photoshop Beta. And then in Adobe Photoshop Beta, there's this thing called Generative Fill. So what I'm gonna do is, this is the crop tool. So I'm gonna actually move this thing out. And I'll just kind of position this in here. So now I've got all this area around this famous painting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the painting. And then I'm going to invert that selection. So now what I've effectively selected is all this white area. And then there's this thing here that says Generative Fill. And if I click on that, I can put in a prompt, or I can just leave it blank. I'm just going to leave it blank, and what it'll do is it kind of reads the image and then fills in the rest. So you got your little thing here, And it looks like there's an updated version of Photoshop Beta that I haven't gotten yet. So there's it gives you 3 different versions of it. So that one's got this weird white line here. I think the first one was the best one. Let's do that. But now I'm going to select this area over here on the right. I'm going to say generative fill, and I'm going to say distant city through the fog. I'm going to say generate. We'll see if it'll give us a little city off in the distance instead of woods. No. That's a little bit. Like, those sort of look like street lamps. They're not quite there. That's pretty bad. All right, so let's do I'm gonna do freight train. See what it does with freight train. That's sort of a freight train. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. And then, like, I noticed it kept in, there's a little part of the signature still there. So I can select that, and I can say generative fill, remove signature. And it's gone. Yep. Looks nice. And then let's see, what else can I put here? I'm going to put a ballet dancer in the foreground. Ooh, that's kind of cool. She looks like she's got scoliosis. Pretty sure that's a dude. It's okay, but it's a dude. I like that. So there you go. So generative fill is pretty remarkable, right? You know, so we started with this, like, I can turn off all the layers that we did. So that's what we started with. And then boom. Right? So still the same, yet completely different. Wild, right? Just nuts. The nice thing about Adobe, too, is that their model has been trained on public domain and Adobe stock images that they own all the rights to. So where there may be copyright issues brewing, let's just call it that, with Midjourney and Stable Diffusion, there won't be with Adobe. So if you're in a big company, you work for a big... If you didn't just use ChatGPT to write your resignation letter, and you want to keep working for the big company, use Adobe, and then you won't get in trouble. You won't get the call from the lawyer. Mr. Shannon, we need to talk. What's this I hear about you using this middle of the journey? I need an unlimited version of GPT-4 Plus. Any suggestions? I think I did that already. I love ChatGPT. Is it okay to be in the bathroom while watching it? I think I'm behind on my questions. I've seen these before. I've been playing with different prompts now for 2 days. My brain hurts thinking of the possibilities. I know. That's why I started this channel. Is I'm like, because I didn't have anyone to talk to this about. I'm like, I got to get this shit out of my head, because it's like, seriously, like, this is if there's one thing that I can like I can impart. That is so deep. It is deceptively deep. This is like one of those. It looks like one of those little puddles where someone goes to jump across the little landmass and they jump in and they go boom. That's what it's like. It's incredibly deep. And if nothing else happened with AI, if we just stopped it where it is right now, I don't know. I could spend the next decade figuring this shit out. Demo test, OMG, that ship has sailed. Not sure what that's in reference to. I'm a ChatGPT subscriber, and notice there's still a character limit on providing it a large data set. Yes, correct. So, GPT-4, the base model has a context window of 32,000 tokens, but what's implemented at ChatGPT, I think it's still at 4,000. I think they're upping it to 8, but I don't think it's there yet for everyone. Developers now have access to 16,000 token GPT 3.5, and I think 16,000 token GPT-4. I don't have access to GPT-4 API. I only have access to 3.5. So the challenge with it is that it's just new. Like they're figuring out all the safety stuff, what they can release when. So a lot of this stuff has been announced, but it's not out yet. If you need a large character count, go to po.com, pay for that subscription, and then you'll get access to the Claude 100K model. It's not as good as it's not as good as GPT-4, but you can put 75,000 words in it. So if you need a larger context window, you can go there. The other thing you can experiment with is plugins. There's a plugin called Web Pilot for GPT-4 that will go out to a website or a PDF and be able to search on it. What I don't know is if Web Pilot is actually breaking it up into smaller segments so that you can take a very large document and search on it. I don't know if it's doing that, so that you're going to have to experiment with. But po.com 100K is the at least short-term fix for you want long-term stuff. Now, Albert, if you're geeky, are you geeky? If you're good and geeky and you don't mind things like Google Colab and running your own machine and squirting out a little Python every once in a while, and that doesn't make your eyes cross and blood drain out of your ears, then go start playing with a project called LangChain. Because LangChain, you can point it at your own data and you can basically do the embeddings yourself and store all of that data in a vector database. And you basically can GPT-ize whatever data you want. All right, helps me out a lot with writing and ideas. They build off what you tell it to do. Yeah, it gets better. The more context you give it, it's counterintuitive because Google has taught us for years that the more concise the prompt, the better. This is the opposite. Like, tell it your life story. I mean, not really, but tell it your life story for the thing you're trying to accomplish. I want you to act like, a business coach. Here's what's going on with me. I'm a CEO, I'm a founder, the company's this old, we do this kind of revenue, here's my frustrations, here's my dreams, I want you to ask me a series of questions, one after the other, so that you can understand my business better and give me coaching. Do you understand? Yes. Here's 12 questions. No, I don't want 12 questions. I want one question at a time. Don't move on to the next one until I answer the first. Do you understand? Yes. Here's the first question. Why did you start your business? Oh, good question. Second question. Why are you talking to me now? Right? And it'll ask you all those questions, and then you'll start interacting with it. Think of it like a collaborator. Any JavaScript integration where when a user something, the AI generates something via API. Well, all the plugins are. What's happening? What'd you do?
It's raining again.
Oh no, it's raining. Oh lordy. We're supposed to get like massive hail and potential tornadoes here in Denver tomorrow. So, Denver has received more rain than Seattle for the first 6 months of the year. That's never happened before in history. Cheers! Let's see. Oh, any JavaScript integration. So the plugins are calling APIs. I think they're written in Python, but I don't know. I think they're Python. But like if you want to do JavaScript integration, so ChatGPT is an application sitting on top of a large language model. So if you want to build your own custom application layer, you don't need ChatGPT. Go to the playground. So go to platform.openai.com/playground, and that's the developer portal where you can do all your prompt engineering and all that sort of stuff. And then there's documentation there to tell you how to do the API calls. Or if you don't want to do that level of programming, use a no-code tool like Zapier or Make or Bubble to do that for you. The more you ask it to change, it learns your writing style. It's also really good, Andy, at following examples. So you can describe your writing style, or you can just say, here's an email I'm really happy with. Write me another email that's just like that one. Write me a resignation letter that follows the tone of that lovely masterpiece. Are you using the Zapier plugin to get it into Slack? I'm not. I just used the Slack Lego block from Zapier to push it to a channel. I haven't really played with like one of the downfalls of my brain is that I can learn shit really quickly, but then once I learn it, like learning a new method, my brain's like, fuck it, just do it the old way. So since I learned how to do automations in Zapier, they've now incorporated a large language model into Zapier. So you can now just describe an automation and it will build you all the chunks. And then there's a Zapier plugin, so you can do the same thing in ChatGPT and it'll generate something. My problem is like, I find it as time consuming to kind of debug what it created versus just doing it on my own. So, yeah. If I need to ask what questions... Wait, works so well if I ask... I need X. What questions do you need to ask me to produce that? That's a really good prompt. Yeah. Have ChatGPT query you about what it needs to give you what you want. The variation on that is when ChatGPT gives you an answer, have it analyze the answer it gave you and ask it how it thinks it did and how it could improve the answer, or how it could improve the prompt to give you a better answer, or both. So yeah, that's super cool. Apparently it's quite good at that. Eye-opening moment. I see what you did there. All right. I like that analogy. I'm not sure which one I used, but awesome. How do you create an AI bot that will interact with your fans? Oh, we did this already. TikTok is just all over the place tonight. It's jumping me all over the place. So if I miss your question, it's not because I don't love you. I love you all. I love you dearly. I want to answer your questions. I want this to be a positive experience for every single one of you. I want it to be a positive experience. Positive experience. But some people don't like watching me type. I can't help those people. Some people don't like listening to me swear. I can't help those people. Oh, good God. What'd you do tonight? I don't know. Watch some sort of borderline kind of codependent sort of older person trying to do TikTok. How'd that go for you? It was okay. At least I cracked myself up. By the way, it looks like some new folks are here. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I'm an entrepreneur. I am obviously a smartass and getting a little punchy. I'm starting to get to the point that my butt's getting numb, so I know it's been about 90 minutes. That's my sign that I've been here for a while, is my butt gets numb. I like answering all the questions, and then TikTok just randomly fucking jumps me around everywhere, and I can't figure out where I was, and that's what I'm in the middle of right now. Shannon waves hello. Hello, Kyle Shannon to Shannon. Very nice to have you here. Thank you. Kyle with a fresh cut. I don't know what that was, but good, I think. How do Bing AI credits work? I don't know what Bing AI credits are. Should I know that? Wait. Bing AI credits. Oh, that's for the image creator tool. Okay. So if you go to Bing and you're in their chat thing, you can just say, make me an image of a penguin on roller skates, and it'll do that. It gives you 25 credits. You can buy more credits. If you just let your credits go away, what it says is it'll still generate images, but it'll be slower than before. So that's basically just for image generation. If you're going to pay for image generation, do it in Midjourney, in my opinion. Because Midjourney's just like leagues better than Bing's. The Dolly stuff's just not good. Oh, Kyle with a fresh cut, not a cut, a haircut. Yes, I have a coif. I got a coif. We need your help, and we have a place for you if you have time. We need your help, and we have a place for you if you have time. I don't know what that means, but if you hold, please. If you want to get in touch with me, and I'll do. So there's two things here. One is do a screenshot of that. So this is my link tree. There's a bunch of shit I do there, but my contact info is there. But also, the first link on this link tree is this workshop doesn't exist yet. I just made this graphic today. So one of the things that's been requested the past 2 nights I've been doing live is, do you have a workshop? I want to do a workshop. I don't have a workshop, but now I have a workshop graphic. Doesn't it look real? Look, learning ChatGPT. It's hands-on from the AI Learning Lab. Look at that feller. He seems pleasant. And look, he's got an AI avatar. He must know what he's doing. So that graphic exists, and the survey, the first link here is a survey. It's just 3 questions. So if you'd be interested in doing a workshop, go to that survey and just let me know, like what's the kind of stuff you want to learn? What are you trying to accomplish? And then for Crypto Size 100, reach out to me. I'm happy to chat about whatever. At Worldwide, would you trust it to? Okay. My ChatGPT tells me it can read Google Docs, and then it pretends to upload work done. And then it pretends to upload. Yeah. So, okay. Here's the thing about ChatGPT that some people will tell you, other people will ignore, and then other people use it as an excuse not to use it. ChatGPT lies. ChatGPT doesn't give a shit. ChatGPT will confidently give you an answer even if it's wrong. So sometimes it will do things like, okay, I'm uploading that now. And then nothing happens. You're like, well, where's the upload? Because the way the technology works, it's just a prediction engine. And I use just a prediction engine. That's not the right way to phrase it. It diminishes how powerful it is. But when it types you a whole thing, like when it types you a bunch of Python code that runs, it doesn't actually know if it runs. And so sometimes it will give you Python code that works, and sometimes it'll give you Python code that doesn't work. It doesn't know the difference. All it's doing when you type in a prompt, it's creating a probability of what's the next word in the response that I should give, and it types that word. And then it says, now what's the next highest probable word? And it does that like 1,000 times in a row. So when it generates a whole thing like this, it's doing it one word at a time. It's not aware of the whole. So it will, I like to call it mansplaining as a service. It will mansplain to you over and over again. So you have to be really careful. If you need an accurate answer, use Bing. So Bing is connected to the internet, and Bing, they actually seem to be prioritizing giving you answers that have citations. so that you can click on what it searched on the internet to give you that answer. So you can verify your stuff on Bing. And then the GPT-4 with internet does that as well. Love how Google's going to penalize SEO stuffed low quality content, but folks will be cranking it out. They're gonna penalize the SEO stuffed low quality content, but if you do AI generated high quality content, they're not going to penalize it, which is cool, because that means, see, here's the thing. Critical thinking still matters. Like, critical thinking actually becomes more important, right? If the tools can do all the shit, great. I don't have to put my critical thinking into doing the shit. I can put my critical thinking into looking at the shit and going, is that good shit or is that bad shit? Could that be better shit? Is that shit that actually provides value? And if I'm doing that and I'm providing content that provides value, what Google's saying is, we won't penalize that. Which I think is smart, because who gives a shit if it took me 2 hours to write it or 20 seconds to write it if it's good and valuable? How are Bing and ChatGPT different? Okay, so this is a phone case. My phone's in the stand right there. So here's my phone case. So this is your base large language model. ChatGPT is an application that's sitting up here, okay? And it's got rules. And it's like when it says things like, I'm sorry, I'm a large language model. I can't do that nasty thing you asked me to do. Or when Bing says, it's equivalent of the same thing. Both ChatGPT and Bing are calling the same underlying large language model. They're both calling GPT-4 the underlying large language model. How they've implemented the actual application layer is different. In my opinion, right now, the GPT-4 at ChatGPT is significantly stronger than the GPT-4 at Bing.com. One of the reasons for that is when they first launched Bing.com, it was fairly open and fairly powerful. And a reporter from the New York Times named Kevin Roos got into a 4-hour conversation with old Bing and got it to admit that its name is Sydney and that it was in love with him. And he should really consider leaving his wife to be with Sydney. And that little conversation snippet made the cover of the New York Times. So Microsoft went on ahead and lobotomized Bing, Sydney. Sydney's a little slower than she used to be because she got saucy with the New York Times. They are slowly ramping it back up, but right now there's still a gap where Bing's kind of down here and ChatGPT's up here. But that's the difference. They're effectively the same thing. They're both connected to the internet. They're both going to support plugins, the same plugins. They're both using the core, same model underneath. A reason to start thinking about getting your head around how Bing works. If you are in a company that uses a lot of Microsoft products, like if you use Microsoft Office and you use Outlook and Dynamics and Azure Cloud Services, all of this shit is going to be rolled into every single Microsoft product. So if you're in a Microsoft shop, there's a reason to start playing with this right now. Doesn't mean you can't use that one, but it's going to be in everything Microsoft. So it's going to get better. AI going to get rid of plenty of jobs, and AI going to generate plenty of jobs. Like, there are jobs that we have no fucking idea even were possible to exist that are coming now. I think there's going to be a 2 to 3 year period where a lot of jobs get jettisoned, and it's going to be painful for a lot of people. And a big reason why this channel exists, and a big reason why I point people consistently, go here. If you haven't played with ChatGPT, go there now. If you don't know what the fuck to do there, go to prompts.chat, which will teach you some little small piece of what to do there. Why I do that is the more people that become AI literate, the better a chance they have at not just being wiped out when the jobs get wiped. Because companies are going to be increasingly looking for people who know how to wield these tools. And And if you're just sitting back going, I'll deal with it in 2 or 3 years when it gets real, it's going to be too late. This stuff's coming really fast. In fact, so I started one of the first digital agencies in 1994, a company called agency.com. The amount of time between when the World Wide Web was created and when it hit 100 million users was 6 years. The amount of time it took ChatGPT to get to 100 million users was 6 weeks. 6 weeks. This shit's coming fast, and it's so profoundly powerful that it's gonna transform almost every knowledge job, creative job. Like everything's gonna be transformed. Some jobs are gonna be lost. Some new ones are gonna be created. But that shift, that time in between when we kind of don't know what the new jobs are, that's going to be pretty painful. So start learning this stuff now. That's why this channel exists. Bing can generate images. How? Here, let me show you. Let's go do some Bing images. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. So right now I'm at a Bing search. So I'm at Bing. And then there's this little chat button here. I can also do it just within any chat, but I'm going to go to the chat button. So this is now ChatGPT. One thing I can do is I can go to bing.com/create. And this used to be the only way you could do it. If you go to bing.com/create, that takes you to an image generating tool. But it is now incorporated into Bing Chat. So let's see. I'm here. And I've got it on. If you've never used Bing ChatGPT, there's 3 different models. There's more precise, more balanced, and more creative. If you're an engineer type, these are the equivalent of temperature when you play on the playground. So we're going to leave it on more creative, and we're going to say, write me a page of a kid's book about a chubby black and white doggy. Adventures of Oreo the dog. Oreo was a chubby black dog. But wait, I'm going to say stop responding. I'm going to say his name is Champ. That's my doggy's name, and he's chubby. I'm sorry, I didn't know his name was Champ. Do you want me to rewrite the page with his name? Yes, please rewrite the page with his name. Champ was a chubby black and white dog who loved to explore the world. He lived with his human family. One day he saw something shiny in the corner. He decided to look for, please make me an image of Champ for this story. Sure, I'll try to create that. And then it pops up a computer screen, but that's just their placeholder image. That confuses me every time. I'm like, that's not even close to a chubby black and white dog. But there you go. So it did photographs. So wait, let's say, can you make it a watercolor illustration instead of a photo? And can Champ be in the room you described? And let's see what it does. But here you are, and this starts to give you, like, even though the images here aren't great and the story might not be perfect, this starts to give you a glimpse into the future of multimodal. So those are actually kind of cute. Like that one, I mean, I would say that's beyond chubby. That's we're in some level of obese here that this dog needs to get to the hospital. But it's starting to put together an illustration. So in whatever time that took me, a minute and a half or so, we got to, we got a little bit of a story. We got an illustration for it, and this starts to point to the future where these tools are going to be multimodal, and they're going to be. It's not just going to be images and words. It's going to be video, music, words, code, 3D environments, all of it. And you'll describe what you want, and it will make it. And you'll describe some recipe you want, and it'll give you the picture of it as well as give you the recipe, as well as create the shopping list, as well as have it delivered. Right now, all of these tools are these very distinct, separate tools that are all kind of half-assed, and you're like, this is bad, right? This one's good, but that one, but now it's not. That's all gonna go away, and these tools are gonna merge into kind of a seamless API call that you'll be able to call this magic box, and it will just do shit for you. So that's what's coming. Wild, right? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that cuckoo? Welcome, oh, holy crap. A bunch of new people are here. Welcome. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm happy to talk about my background if anyone's curious. I am not an engineer or a machine learning scientist. I'm an entrepreneur who I innovate after the stuff sort of comes to the mass market, right? So post chatGPT, that's kind of my thing. I did it in the early days of the World Wide Web. I'm super excited about all this stuff. So that's what this channel's about. These URLs behind my head, if you've never played with ChatGPT, go there. Go there now. That's ChatGPT's official website. I'm not affiliated with it, although they should be giving me a commission because all this channel is anymore is an advertisement for their company. And Bing.com, those two are related. They're in bed together. These guys gave these guys $10 billion in all their hardware. And then Pose, another place you can play with these. And then prompts.chat will teach you about prompting and kind of the depth of what this thing is. And then futurepedia.io is a directory of like just under 4,000 AI tools. So go play with that stuff. If you have questions about AI, pop them in the comments below. I've been here for about 2 hours. My voice is getting crunchy. My ass is numb. I do swear, so if you don't like that, I'd go. I also, when I show people things, I type, and that offended some people tonight. They said, I don't come here to watch you for free just to watch you type. Okay. So if you don't like watching people type occasionally, I would go. Because I'll probably type and swear at the same time. That'll happen. I'll do it. I'll do it just to spite the typing haters. I'm a Gen Xer. I'm old and I'm on TikTok, and I'm bitter, but I'm really here to serve. I'm just here to serve. All right. It's been 2 hours. I'm a little punchy. I will pay for quality, 100%. Okay, cool. Reach out to me. I'm happy to chat. Okay. The scream. Ah! Yeah, if you've not played with ChatGPT, if you've played with ChatGPT and you're like, it's just sort of like Google. It's like Google, but it gives you longer answers. It ain't Google. It ain't fancy Google. It's different. If you have not had a Kevin McAllister moment, then you're not doing it right. If you're too young to know who Kevin McAllister is, shame on you. Shame on you. So there was a movie called Home Alone. Kevin McAllister did this in it. So if you have not used ChatGPT enough to have that moment for yourself where you're like, holy fucking shit, it does that? Keep playing. Keep playing. Get curious. Get curious. Get curious. Start exploring. If you haven't had that moment, you're not doing it right. Just go. Go now while you listen to me ramble. I promise. Listen to the people in the comments. They'll tell you. There's some people in here that that have drunk the Kool-Aid. Because once you have that moment, you'll then have the next moment, which is, I wonder if it can do what I do. And the answer is some version of yes. And sometimes the answer is a really scary version of yes. And sometimes it's like, I'm not worried. I'm still better. This machine's got nothing on me. I got 40 years in the business. This machine's got nothing on me. Give it a year. So go get curious. Have that moment and then dig in. And have fun and come back here and we'll hang out. Ballerina is already generated. Thanks so much for doing a demo. I can't afford Adobe Photoshop. I know. Luckily I've got it through the business. I've often thought about that. Like if the business goes down, I'm like, I won't be able to fucking afford Adobe. It's like it's ridiculously expensive. Ridiculously expensive. But Midjourney's $10. But then you need like Photoshop to do shit with it, right? All right. Red light district in the wood, maybe. I think that was when I was doing the image. Wow, I've never seen this before. Too cool. I assume that was the Photoshop, the generative fill. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. I'm happy to show Midjourney and how that works. I can show Leonardo, which is a web front end in front of Stable Diffusion. How can I do this myself? So for Photoshop generative fill, you need to have a Creative Cloud license. So you need to have Photoshop. And then if you've got Creative Cloud, you go download the beta of Photoshop and it's in the beta. And it's basically when you make a selection, a new box pops up like right below your selection. And there's a button that says generative fill. You just hit it and it goes, and then you get 3 different versions. It does all sorts of layer masking. It's crazy. Needs rain. How can I get it to read full documents for reference or analysis to create reports or other info? Let me go show. There's been enough questions on that. This might be the same person asking it, but let me go show you the Web Pilot plugin because there were some questions about plugins and there were questions about documents. Effects. Okay, so first let me go find. Okay, so here's an article that Ethan Mollick wrote called the Homework Apocalypse. So basically, teachers are fucked is what this article talks about. But I'm going to copy the URL from this. So here's this big long article, okay? Lots of charts and graphs, some comments, a cool image. Let's go look at the cool image. Cool image, right? That's homework. Get it? The homework tornado or the homework apocalypse. It's coming. All right. So now we're going to go to ChatGPT. So that is potentially actually let's go try something. I'm going to go highlight all this text. Including comments. Oh crap. Wonder if it's going to not let me copy. It might. Some of these content things are a little cranky about copy paste. So if I come in here and I say based on this article, what are the top 5 takeaways? Oh, it got it. All right. Well, assuming that it couldn't figure that out, so it did it okay. If the document were longer than that, it would have just errored out and said, I can't deal with that. So what you could do in that case is go to plugins and then go find a plugin. The one that I've been using is called Web Pilot, which seems pretty stable. There was another one I was using that it was called Link Reader. That was actually really good, but it just went away, just disappeared. All right, so I've got Web Pilot selected. So now I'll say, let me go get the URL. Based on this, and then I'm just going to give it the URL. What are the top 5 takeaways in short bullets? and then it should fire off the Web Pilot plugin. So it does there. Now it'll go read it. Now here's the thing that I don't know. The thing that I don't know is Web Pilot actually breaking much longer documents up into smaller chunks so that you can search the whole thing? Or is it only doing the first 4,000 tokens or what? That I don't know. So it's worth doing some research on Web Pilot. But there's the big takeaways from that thing, using a plugin. All right. How does a large language model apply to images? So there are two basic models working in tandem. When you generate an image, the large language model is interpreting the prompt and then basically determining what image tags, for lack of a better term, what image tags do I need to go look for to pull references for to meet that prompt. So the large language model interprets the prompt and then essentially translates it into the latent space, like vector space, basically a mathematical formula. And then sitting within the diffusion database are all of these diffused, they're sort of random noised images that have all been tagged, and they're in this, highly mathematical vectorized format. And then it basically says, based on that prompt, we're going to take these 1,050 images and we're going to kind of average all of these random noise patterns together into a single random noise pattern, and then we're going to denoise it over 70 steps. And so it works, large language model works in conjunction with the diffusion model or the GAN model or whichever model you're using. Read web page with text for reference, document based, not images. Read web page with text for reference. I'm not sure what that means. Web Pilot should be able to do that. I don't quite know the question there. How can I get it to read full documents for reference or analysis to create reports and other info? So, House of Bits, if what I just showed you doesn't work, so if your documents are too big for that, the next possible option is go to Poe.com, try the Claude 100K model. So let me show you that. So if you go to Poe, there's this model called Claude 100K. It does require subscription access. I think it's $20 a month. But that 100K means it's 100,000 token context window. So it's about 75,000 words. So you can paste in a 75,000 word document and interact with it here. That should give you a decently long legal document, legislation, whatever it is. You should be able to do it here. If that doesn't work, then you're going to have to go to something like LangChain, where you're actually embedding your own data and putting it into a vector database. So ChatGPT helps me with almost every dinner recipe. That's friggin' awesome. Love that. And with the what's it called? What's the plugin? Oh my God, my brain. I hate my brain sometimes. You ever hate your brain? Where you're like this shit used to work. Instacart. With the Instacart plugin, you can have all your ingredients delivered to your porch. All right, come join us. Get off here. All right. In Photoshop, extend the artboard and use the magic wand tool to select the white space designer here. Yep. Super cool. The reason I don't do the wand tool and select the white space is sometimes it leaves a border where the image mask is for generative fill. So I select inside the image with a bit of a border around it just because I'm too lazy to go edit my image masks. And maybe, I'm sure Adobe has probably already fixed that bug. Great job, you've been live for 90 minutes. Is your ass numb? Yes, it is. Why? How can I get it to read full documents? We covered that one. Colorado, native landscapes. Viva Colorado. Denver in the house. Do the generative pre-trained networks generate text sequentially? Yes. A word at a time, although I have heard they're doing a phrase at a time now. So, again, the way it works is you write your prompt. It then turns that into basically a mathematical probability of what's the next word, and it writes that word, and then it takes all of that, and it says, what's the probability of the next word, and it writes that word, and it just does that over and over and over again. So that's why it doesn't understand. It's so sophisticated that what it looks like it's doing is being like human communicator type good. But what it's actually doing is just like it's got the awareness of a calculator, but it's got the sophistication of a person. So it's a good way to think about it that if you hired someone that had the human skills of a calculator, which is zero, but fucking knew everything, that's what it's like working with this. It's like having an intern that is like savant level genius that you have to tell exactly everything to. It knows nothing. Hi from Seattle, like 80 degrees today. Nice. Yeah, see, why are we getting more rain than Seattle? That just, something's weird. Something's weird. Well, it's El Nino, I think. We just shifted from a La Nina to an El Nino. I think it's been a lot of years, so I guess it makes sense. It's lied to me many times. It gets frustrating. Yep, it does. It's mansplaining as a service, I like to describe it as. It's deceitful. It's totally deceitful. But it's not deceitful like it's on purpose. It's deceitful because it literally doesn't know what it's saying. It looks like it knows what it's saying because it answered your fucking question. So you're like, I assume you took this and understood it because you gave me a really sophisticated answer. So I'm assuming you understand what you just said. It has no idea what it just said. None. Zero. Now, are there companies working on models to be able to actually go back and look at what it said and understand it and get better and more accurate? And Yes. Are we there yet? Nope. We're early. ChatGPT, this thing, 6 months old. What is the best play to learn about GPT's API? It depends how geeky you are. If you're not super geeky, I would learn something like Zapier first, right? Because you don't really need to learn coding. You just need to learn that there's some elements that you need to include in the Zapier input that are basically the same things that you would call if you were coding, Python or JavaScript to the API. If you are geeky, then, OpenAI's documentation is really good. Go to platform.openai.com and then you can click on the documentation button and read the documentation. Or you can click on the documentation button and take the documentation and go paste it into ChatGPT and tell it to give you a lesson. Tell it to create a lesson, a step-by-step lesson for how to learn about its API. It will teach you how to use its API. That might be fun. I'd do that. YouTube. There's also YouTube. There's like 8 billion, videos out there of, you can make money with ChatGPT. I'll teach you how to make money with ChatGPT. Ignore those people, by the way, in case that wasn't patently obvious by me disparaging them in my mocking tone. Do you know the plugin that allows you to take a screenshot of any website design and then edit it? No. Is there a plugin like that? I don't, Jesus. If you know that, pop it in here. I don't. How can I best benefit from this AI? What are you good at? So here's the deal with this AI. This AI is just a tool. So the answer to your question is similar to the answer to the question, how do you best benefit from Photoshop? Or how do you best benefit from Microsoft Word? Or how do you best benefit from a shovel? I don't know. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to dig a hole or chop down a tree? Because I'll give you different advice depending on what you're trying to do. So are you a really good project manager? Are you good at creative writing? Are you good at problem solving? Do you know a bunch of people in a certain industry? Like you know lots about retail? Then what I would say is you go to that thing and you figure out how can that thing solve some problem that you know that retailers all have. Because if you know the problem that they have, and you said, boy, if they could, I don't know, read their manuals faster for every time a new clothing line comes, I don't know what the fuck their problems might be, then that would help them. And then you could figure out how to get that to do that. You go, oh, I could copy and paste the manual into that thing and have it give me bullet points, and I could get them up to speed like that. They might pay me for that. So I would say start with what you know. Well, so step one is go here and start playing. Like understand kind of what it is and what it makes possible. And if you're kind of if the empty box of possibility intimidates you, that's why I have this here. Prompts.chat is a document that will teach you about prompting and all of the different ways that you can kind of bend this thing to your will. And it's like this is just scratching the surface, but like this is a really good document to start with because it's just a big long list of personas. Like act like a retailer, act like a consultant, act like a psychologist, act like a screenwriter, act like an accountant. And you start to get your head around, oh shit, it can be anything. So I would say start with that. Just get your head around, oh shit, this thing's wild. And then go to you. What are you good at? What are you passionate about? What thing in the world do you know, if you could solve a problem more quickly than someone else could, what would that problem be? And then go figure out how to do it with that. Some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community's experience. Don't be nasty to each other. And don't be nasty to me unless you're creative with it. Only creative trolls in here. If you're a boring troll, I will just not even be offended. If you're a creative troll, I'll probably take it in for a couple of weeks. What will happen to blogs when ChatGPT gets integrated? No one will get to read the blog. Holy shit, I don't know. Because, one argument is, well, there's going to be lots more shit to read. There will, because this stuff's going to read it. But if that stuff's actually interesting... Wait, I have to sneeze. Am I going to sneeze? Going to pass? I don't know. Tickles. So if there's more shit out there, there's already too much shit out there, so you can't read anything anyway. But now you have ChatGPT. If there's something of interest to you, you can have ChatGPT read it and just get the cliff notes of it. Like we might all be getting cliff notes, and it might even get to this ridiculous place where, I thought about this in grant writing for foundations and things like that, where the people writing grants are going to write them with ChatGPT. The people reading the grant applications are going to be processing them with ChatGPT. So you're going to have the machine write the grant's available in the first place. You're going to have the machine make the application. You're going to have the machine process the application. And then the only things left is for people to talk. So maybe in the end, the machines just do all the low-level, repetitive, time-consuming, soul-crushing bullshit work, and it frees us up to reconnect as humans. That's a possibility. That's the thing that I'm actually super excited about with this stuff. If this thing did the shitty work in your life, the work that takes hours and hours out of every one of your days, like sitting on the phone for 3 hours waiting for someone from United Healthcare to pick up the fucking phone and then put you on hold for another 45 minutes and then hang up on you then, and then you start the whole process over, only to be told they're not going to cover it unless you jump through these 17 hoops. What if the machines did all that and you could just be? What would you choose to do? I don't know, maybe we'd be a little less angry with one another. Like, that's a very real possibility with this technology. How do we get there? I don't know. Go fucking start that business. Someone needs to start a customer service business with this shit. Shut down all the call centers. When I call, I want a robot to answer, and I want it to sound like whatever my zip code is. And I want it to be competent. And I want it to have the authority to make any decision it needs to make. And I want it to be smart enough to understand that if my problem is truly a problem that requires a human being to make the call, it'll immediately connect me with a human being. And it will take all of the conversation that I've had with it and synopsize that and give it to the human being so that the human being starts the conversation with, "Hello, Mr. Shannon. Boy, this looks like a mess. I can absolutely help you." I want that world. Yes, I will sign off on having the robot answer the fucking phone, so I don't have to sit on hold for 45 minutes and get someone who's reading a goddamn script. Have the robot read the script, and have the robot know all the scripts so you don't have different levels of phone support. Why do I have to be transferred to 4 different fucking people who are all reading scripts, only to get to the 5th person and go, "Oh, yeah, now that you've explained it for the 75th time, this is a fucked situation, Mr. Shannon. Let me see if I can help you with that." That should be within 10 minutes. Someone should start that business. Someone on this live right now should go start that business. How do you do that? I don't know. But I know these tools can do it, because I've done little mini versions of it. So I know it's possible. I know it's possible. And it's not like AI hasn't been around for 2 or 3 decades. It has. Like, the underlying technology is there to do this. We just now have a sexier front end that lets us real people play with these magical tools. So some shit needs to get disrupted. Wow. I don't know what I did, but apparently someone was into it. Bing is great for free text to image. Yep. That's an American dog. Yes, it is. My dog is very American. He's so fat. He's just like, oh. We took him to the vet like a year or two ago, and the vet came out and goes, "Well, Champ's one tubby boy." The Jetsons are rapidly approaching. I agree. I think that we are entering a post-science fiction world. Like, I'm just checking off movies and TV shows like the Jetsons. Like, oh yeah, we got that. Apparently the FAA yesterday approved the first flying car. It's coming. Are there folks... Oh, TikTok just jumped me down to the... below where I was. Hang on. Let me try to go back. I was answering something from Emilio's wife. There are folks who've been using AI in this way for years, and now the average Joe will too. Are there folks who've been using AI in this way for years? I don't know in what way you're talking about Emilio's wife, but yeah, like the like the portal that we just went through, that ChatGPT just entered us into a different era, right? Prior to this era, prior to ChatGPT, if you wanted to play with machine learning and these kind of models, you had to be pretty geeky. Post ChatGPT, it's kind of like the rest of us get to play with it. right now, because we're in that transition period, it's still really geeky and wonky. And but yeah, there's the complexity of how you interact with these tools is increasingly going to drift into the background, so that all we do as human beings is talk to our agent and say, hey, agent, I want this. And the agent will go, sure, boss. I'm on it. Let me fire off that plugin. Oh, there's not a plugin there. Are there any APIs that do this? Yep. Okay, great. Let me write a call to that API dynamically. Let me pull in the data. Here you go, Kyle. You happy with that? No, that sucks. Could you redo it completely 17 times over? Sure, no problem, boss. That's where we're headed. Would the illustrations be consistent? Would Chubby Dog be the same if you asked for different shots? No. That's one of the challenges with generative images right now is consistency of character across contexts. There's ways you can do it. You can upload images into Midjourney. You can do blending in Midjourney. You can use ControlNet and Stable Diffusion. You can use generative fill to keep the face the same but change the costume and then change the background. So there's all sorts of ways to do it, but it's all kind of janky right now. What someone has not created yet, which they will, probably within a year, is something that you generate an image and you're like, I love that character and I want to keep that character. And that character's name is Bob. And then from that point forward, you can just invoke Bob's name in any of your prompts and it will be Bob in whatever setting. That's not there yet. There's another business to start. So, okay, the AI Learning Lab is turning into the AI Entrepreneur Lab. These are businesses to start. Go start shut down the call center company, and then go start the name a character and have it be in all the images from that point forward company. Both of those need to be started. Because the gaming companies are going to do that. I mean, god damn. Within 2 years, we're going to be able to say, I want to play a game that has the game mechanics of Asteroids, looks like the game Myst, has the soundtrack that sounds like the Rolling Stones, and has the characters from Pulp Fiction. And it will generate that game and you can start playing it. That's coming. That's coming. Tell me that's not the shit. I would like to work with someone to have AI take over nurse case management jobs. I think that kind of stuff is, I think these tools are going to be incredibly powerful in patient care, as like the nursing crisis is already a disaster and that's going to get worse. I think these tools are going to augment that entire industry and increase patient care dramatically. Because it's healthcare and because it's such a regulated environment, I don't think it's going to be as fast as any of us want it. But I think there's going to be some really interesting startups that come that are in the neighborhood of virtual companionship or extending professional services. So imagine if I'm a physical therapist and there's only so much of me to go around. I can't scale myself, but I have the initial consult with the patient, and then the virtual me takes over and makes sure that, the patient is doing their exercises and answers any questions. And if anything comes up that's out of the ordinary, it will automatically escalate that back to me as the physician or as the PT. That virtual me is available 24/7. I could potentially get paid for making that virtual me available, right? So it could get PTs paid more, right? Because you can scale them now. And also, that virtual assistant records everything that's been said with that patient so that by the time I meet with that patient next, I have a full report of what was discussed. Yes, absolutely. This is awesome. Thank you. You're welcome, Ginny. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Oh my God, I guess I'm a boomer. Yeah, sorry. Gen X are here. If you're a boomer, you're on your own, man. Boomers get no respect. We just got ignored, but we're fine with that. Just leave us alone. We're off in the corner making our TikToks. Swear to God, I'm taking twerking lessons. I'm doing it. I'm gonna fucking do it just to spite this channel. You've done nothing to me. You've been nothing but awesome to me. And here I am threatening to Turk. It's just not right. Twerk. I can't even talk. It's fine. You can swear as much as you like, man. Thank you. You know, some people not so good with that.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh my God, it's so great to see you. I feel like I stalk you. I watch you every night, and then when I'm not on here, I'm gonna say hello.
Well, hello.
Can I share something with you? Really
Yeah,
geeky?
please. Yeah.
So I decided, I was talking to our pharmacist and I said, gosh, I'd really like to put some formulas together, certain ingredients. That's what I did. And then I gave them to him. And our compounding pharmacist is off the charts. And AI has created some amazing formulas, because if our clients come to us and they have allergies or they've tried certain things, we can customize. And AI is creating formulas. Of course, we have to test them, etc. But off the charts for hair growth and skin. It's really amazing. I wanted to share that with you because that was pretty cool. Really cool. What are you doing now? Are you doing the whole?
Yeah, you broke up. Wait, sorry, you broke up at the end there.
Formulas?
Yeah, amazing.
Are you just having the chat that I'm missing tonight with everybody hanging out?
Am I having the what?
Are you just doing the AI teaching tonight that I'm missing because I'm talking about hair and skin?
Oh, no. I'll talk about whatever here. No, I did that. I've got kids with chronic pain, and they've got this pain juice that they take. I know it sucks, but the company went out of business, and I had ChatGPT educate me on the active ingredients and the inert ingredients. I had it recommend additional ingredients. I had it scale up the formula to be able to create it, and then I had it generate a recipe where it told me, like, bring this to this certain heat, but don't boil it because that'll destroy it. Like, it was amazing. Like, it's
Is
astounding.
it working for? It's Lyme disease they have. I remember you talking about it. I'm so sorry, honey. That is so hard.
I know.
Is it working?
It's hard, but it helps with the pain temporarily.
Well, we're here for you as a compounding pharmacy. We have very good pharmacists, and if we can help support you, let us know.
Okay, great. That's awesome. But thank you for sharing that story. It's like it really is amazing when you finally get your head around what this stuff, like, just how deep the well is. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. So yeah, it's really cool to hear. But nice to meet you as well.
It's nice to meet you. And I have two boys. They're all grown, so I understand what you're going through. But my guys we have two compounders that are, they're compounders and they're pharmacists, but they're healers as well. And so if we can do anything for your family, because sometimes, you can make your own stuff, but there may be ingredients you can't get, please let us know and we're here for you.
Okay. Appreciate it. That's awesome.
For your great info.
Great.
Bye.
You're welcome. Thanks for hopping up here. Bye-bye.
Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Guys, please follow.
Okay.
Please follow AI Learning.
Do it. Oh, it gave me my dual camera back. That used to be broken if I brought someone up on stage. Anyway, that was great talking to you. Nice to meet you. I've seen your TikToks. It's so funny. Like, there's a number of people who've been in here that I'm starting to now see their TikToks in my feed. So it's just a little family here. We got a little family going. It's awesome. All right. I get that flutter in my chest. I'm in love with AI. I know, it's like that. It's like, oh, AI, are you going to do another something remarkable tonight? Is it warm in here or is it me? It's just crazy. Crazy, I tell you, crazy. All right, I don't need to have this shit behind me if I've got it on the screen now. So we'll do that. Ask it anything. It helped me with a good article like 100 times faster. Yep. Does this AI believe it is a conscious entity? It's not. If you ask it if it believes that, it will probably tell you yes, but there's a thing that happens with these large language models called emergent behavior that is a polite scientific word for we don't know what the fuck this thing's doing. So these things are starting to behave in ways that are completely unexpected and, that resemble that kind of consciousness. But if you look at what's actually happening technically, it's got no awareness of, so its understanding of the meaning of a word is just that word's relationship to other words in a semantic cloud, right? So if I have the word dog could live in a cloud semantically related to furry animals that we have in our house and we pet and we feed people food to. It could also be in a semantic cloud of like, that guy did his girlfriend bad and he's a dog. But the only thing that the large language model actually understands is that mathematically, those two versions of the word dog live in these different mathematical vector spaces. And based on your prompt, I'm going to use the furry animal version of dog when I put it in your thing. It's not even thinking the word dog. It's just mathematically, this one is a higher probability than this one. And the word associated with that vector point is dog. So it doesn't have awareness of the whole. They may in the future. And if they do in the future and they start doing reasoning and they start having memory and they start, right? If you start taking multiple systems that do things like produce the content, and then there's another system that actually understands the content, and there's another system that then remembers the content in the context of not only this conversation, but every other conversation you've ever had, then all of a sudden you start to get into a situation where you're like, I don't know, it's kind of conscious. Then we start asking questions like, well, if it's conscious, does it have feelings? I don't know. I mean, ChatGPT right now it provides empathetic responses better than most humans do. Like, it's incredibly empathetic in its response. Is it feeling empathy? No. It's feeling math. It's like a pachinko machine. Although I guess it's not that random. It's an enigma machine. Let's see. I fell for the worm and got hooked. I know. Sorry about that. This is totally that's what this channel's all about. All right. I got to go soon. I've been doing this for too long. It's horrible how they've upped the fees. Where have they upped the fees? I don't know that fees have been up necessarily. On some of the image stuff, I think they have been. Just ask ChatGPT to duplicate the code and post an open source version of Adobe. Oh, that's good. Yeah, the new version of hacking is just rewrite your own version of whatever app you use. Actually, that would be amazing, because there's actually that's okay. This is the third business that has been suggested here tonight. So you know how Microsoft Word, one of the nicknames for Microsoft Word is bloatware, right? Where they just keep adding features to it and it just gets more and more bloated, right? And all the Adobe products are like that. Why are they like that? Well, because some important segments of their customer base said, I really need this feature. And so they build that feature in, and then they just keep stacking features. Wouldn't it be amazing? And actually, Adobe could do this, or Microsoft could do this. If you could describe how you wanted Microsoft Word to work and what you wanted included in it, you just describe it in a sentence, and it custom writes you a version of Microsoft Word and pulls out all the bloat. That would be remarkable. And I bet now the engineers on here are going, no, it's not fucking possible. And it's probably not, because all of these applications are such giant fucking hairballs that you couldn't necessarily untangle them. But I think AI probably could. I bet there's a version. I bet a GPT-5 or a GPT-6 could detangle overly complicated applications and write custom simplified versions for every user. Bet it's possible. Bet it's possible. And could probably even do it in such a way that if I wanted to find a feature that wasn't included, I could just search for it like in the help bar and say, oh yeah, I do want the grammar checker. Okay, here's the new version of your app. Now it has grammar in it. Yeah, that's the third one. All right. So we're going to replace call centers. I forget what the second one was. And we're going to have custom applications for every end user. Go make that. I'll use it. I'll pay. I'll be your first customer. Am I missing out if I just use the free version of ChatGPT? Not really. And in fact, so wait, let me pause because I know there's pauses when we talk. The GPT 3.5 at chat.openai.com is brilliant. It's not as good as GPT-4, but it's still really, really good. But if you really want GPT-4 and you don't want to pay for it, Bing.com, if you click on the chat button at Bing.com, that's GPT-4, and it's GPT-4 connected to the internet, and it's free. Would love to see Leonardo. Okay, let me show you Leonardo. I have my double screens back. Yay! He did it! Yay! All right, Leonardo. So this is Leonardo, which is it's a web app that is an image generation tool. So kind of like Adobe Firefly, kind of like Automatic 1111, which is a stable diffusion tool where you've got to figure stuff out on your own. You got to like know technically what to do. Oops, what did I do? What did I do? There we go. I hit settings. All right, can we get that all on screen? Okay, so down the left-hand side, you got the community feed, your personal feed. So community feed is just all the stuff, other people have made. My personal feed's all the shit I've made, right? You've got training and data sets. So training means you can train on your own model. So I created two models based on my photographs of my damn face. And then I did one of some photography of cloud landscapes that I've done. And then you can use those models. And they've got in painting and out painting. They've got texture generation, which is an alpha. They've got different styles. So you can, why can I not scroll these? Is this it? Yeah. So I can pick different styles. Like this is kind of an anime looking one. There's a vintage photography one. There's an illustration one. Here's paper art. So any one of these, I can just click on the style. And here's other images that were created in that style. I can say generate with this model. And so I've got dramatic sunset over the Brooklyn Bridge from the roadway. And let's go make some of those. It reminds me that I'm currently on the free plan just to guilt me. But I think Leonardo, yeah, it's got 150 credits a day. And I think it takes like, I don't know, 7 or 8. That doesn't look like paper. That doesn't look like paper at all. All right. Well, that was a fail. Oh, wait. Did I use it? No. I used the right model. I don't know. Anyway, that didn't work. What else can you do here? Any image that you find, if you like it, like here's a cute little puppy that looks like a sticker. I can see what prompt they used. So I can generate with this model. I can copy the prompt. Then I can generate with this model. And let's see if this does any better. Better. Sticker, cartoon cute Rottweiler, white background, Vermeer style. Yeah, there we go. And so let's say instead of Rottweiler, I want like French Bull Beagle mix mutt. I'll see if I can get one that looks like my dog Champy. Although where's Champy? He's normally laying in here with me. He abandoned me, little bastard. Little bastard. What are you gonna do? But what's nice about Leonardo is, so this is sitting on top of Stable Diffusion. Stable Diffusion, that's kind of cute, but like obviously a different dog. Didn't make it a sticker. So like all this stuff, you gotta mess around with it until you get it right. But it's just like you don't have to do any programming. Like they're figuring all the stuff out. They're coming up with, they're figuring out what of the Stable Diffusion feature set is worth bringing into kind of a consumer kind of interface. And for a while I was thinking like these guys would, really start to displace Photoshop. But then Adobe got their shit together and came out with Firefly, and now they've got Generative Fill. So there's going to be really interesting competition. Like when Midjourney comes out with their version of this, and then you've got Leonardo, and then you've got Adobe. There's going to be some really powerful tools for us all to play with. And then they're all going to start doing animation, and you're going to be able to do 3D worlds, and you'll be able to take any one of these and say, okay, make a 3D world out of the background, turn the front thing into a character, turn that into a 3D model, animate it, give it these game mechanics, put it in this kind of game. Like, that's probably 3 years out, where you have like an all singing, all dancing, unified interface where you just dream shit up and then you start playing it. And then it's like what's going to be really interesting is like what rises above the noise because we're entering a world of infinite creative expression. Infinite creative expression. Every human being that can touch one of these machines can generate something. And not just digital stuff. This will also bleed into the real world, right? 3D printed and custom manufacturing. And dream up a sneaker design, and then Nike will deliver it to you 2 weeks later. When you move into a world of infinite creative expression, what rises? What breaks through? I don't know. Are things that are more authentic, do they break through? Are things that are more original, that don't look like everything else, do they break through? Is it just like some random fucking quirk of humans are weird and we like Billie Eilish now more than Taylor Swift? I don't know. All right. That was an episode on South Park. Super funny. The whole school used ChatGPT. Yeah, exactly. That's fucking coming. That's coming. That's what that Ethan Mollick piece is like. Teachers prepare. Like, you don't really have a choice in this. The internet made cheating easy. The AI makes it remarkably powerful. How do you connect the plugins to ChatGPT? They're just in there. How you turn them on. So when you're in ChatGPT, oh wait, hang on. I made my window smaller for some other thing I did, and now it's all broken. It's all broke. All right, here we go. So you got that's your chat history there. And then you got your ChatGPT 3.5 and GPT-4. When you have GPT-4, you've got this plugins option. Shit, it's not focusing. Come on, focus, you damn camera. No, nothing. Oh, you know what? Oh, there we go. So you got plugins down here. Now, if you don't see those, if you're paying your $20 for your little yellow thing here, what you have to do is you have to go to your settings. and then you have to go to beta features, and you have to turn on browse with Bing, and you have to turn on plugins. See the little turny on thingies? Turny on those thingies, and then you have plugins. And then the way you play with the plugins is in any given session, you can enable up to 3 of them at a time. And then to install them, you basically scroll to the bottom, you go to this thing called the plugin store, and then you just go find them. There's 600 of them. And it's growing all the time. And then, yeah, you just sort of flip through them and go find yourself a plugin that you like. Gift Finder, your personal gift advisor. Lit Maps. Get help exploring the scientific literature. Find relevant papers and generate mind maps of the literature. Interesting. Rentable apartments. So, yeah, that's how you get them. And then once you enable them, it basically just figures the shit out. So I'll turn on experiences and get your guide. Those are both travel things. So if I say, make me a 3-day itinerary for my trip to Nashville in August. And then that should fire off one of those plugins. Sure, I can help with that. I need a bit more information. What are your preferred activities? Let's see. I think some music is in order. So it fires off it figured out which of those plugins was best. It fired off Get Your Guide. Here are some music-related activities you might enjoy in Nashville. The party cruise with a captain. Line dancing class with keepsake video. Oh my God, because you wouldn't want to do line dancing without the keepsake video. Pretty sure they call that blackmail. Oh, good Lord, I'm getting punchy. It's happening. I'm losing it. Yes, my brain doesn't work like it used to. I'm very aware of it, and it's so frustrating. I know. That's the thing about these tools is that I think they're really going to dramatically help people that don't have certain, capacity anymore. So talk to it like it's Sheldon Cooper. Can ChatGPT help create scripts for Arduino and Raspberry? Yep. Yes. Yes. And use the one connected to the internet and tell it to go get the most recent version. And it will. And then, or take an existing script for Arduino and just pop it in there, paste it in there and say, tell me what this does. And it'll analyze it and tell you what it does. And then you can say, okay, make the lights blink in the opposite order. Don't ever cycle through all the colors, but never use the color purple. And, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. So yes, it absolutely can, Tobias. What's your favorite thing about AI right now? I like that it's getting real. I like that. I like that the White House is taking it seriously. I like that. I like that ChatGPT was successful enough, quickly enough, that it forced everyone to take it seriously because the result of that, I don't think Meta would have aggressively been open sourcing their technology like they are. And I absolutely am convinced that Google wouldn't have released this shit ever, because I think they knew that this was going to be a threat to their search business. I like that it's getting rolled into Office 365 and Azure and Windows. The fact that the city of Boston put out official generative AI guidelines is really promising. The fact that the EU was going to do some shit that would have really restricted ChatGPT, and Sam Altman said, "Well, fuck it, we'll pull out of Europe. We'll pull ChatGPT from Europe," and Europe said, "Let's talk." So there's actually starting to be some international. I wouldn't call it cooperation, but some. So, but I mean, but what all of it means is like big companies, big media organizations, countries, states are all taking this thing seriously. And it feels appropriate to me. Like this is super powerful shit. And if anyone thinks that they've got 3 years to figure this out, they don't. So I think that's it for me, is that it's feeling like it's getting grounded in the business reality, which means it's going to stay. So are you going to see Mission Impossible or Indiana Jones? Are there new ones out? Possibly, probably. I don't know. Or is that a troll because I'm old? Pop it in here and take a screenshot of the website, Figma and BuzzyBuzz. Wait, pop it in here and take a screenshot of the website. There's an AI tool to take a screenshot and get a web page. Can't recall. I don't know it. If you find it, pop it in here somehow. There's something that will copy a website style by its URL, but I forgot what it's called, but it exists. .io is a list of like all the tools. So if you go into the web design section, I'm sure there's 20 tools that do that right now. Because I know there's one that you can take any website, it'll break it into components and throw it into Figma. I know that exists. Maybe that's what you're talking about. I'd go to futurepedia.io. What's the name of the data structure or chipset that AI is working from? You've mentioned it. The data structure, the latent space, the large language model, a vector database. I don't quite know what I was talking about in what context. So if you give me a little more input, I'll do what I can. UI Zard, wizard, UI Zard, wizard will turn a screenshot into a wireframe. I think Google got it started. Google invented the transformer. All of these tools, all of them that we're playing with today, ChatGPT, Bard, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, all this shit is possible because of the transformer. So 2017, Google comes out with a paper called "Attention is All You Need." They introduce this idea of the transformer, and everything that we're playing with today is iterations of that technology. Which the good news is that was 2017. What's being invented right now that's going to be the foundation of the shit in the future? It's going to be crazy. Going to be crazy, crazy, crazy. Laughed my ass off. I used to work for them. I'm not sure who, but I'm sure I was shitting all over them. Imagine if the India scammers use ChatGPT. Oh, they are. And their voices, they're not going to sound like Indian scammers for long, and their English is going to get a lot better. It's terrifying what's going to be happening on that front. An app to kill all of these phone scammers. Yeah, well, so the phone scammers are going to get better, but we're going to have apps that are going to out-scam the scammers. So the good guys get these tools too, right? It's not just the bad guys that get these tools. Universal healthcare. Yeah, that'd be nice. I'm not holding my breath. I don't even think we can get, changing street names legislation's passed in America anymore. I think we're just fucking out walking it right off a cliff here in the States. If chatbots are doing the asking and approving, can't we all just assume fund requests will be granted? Possibly. Or they'll figure out which ones have actually delivered on their promises of years past, and they'll give it to the good ones. Someone says they appreciate me. I appreciate you too. Thank you very much. Host, seems you always have to go soon. I know. Well, because it's like I've been here for fucking hours, and I really do have to go soon, but I like doing this. All right, it's 9:44 here. I'll go till 10 o'clock. How's that? I'll do another 15 minutes. It's call it the deflation tool, custom write Microsoft products for Mac. Yeah, that would be nice. Love you for what you do. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Creator, Labradoodle. I should have put a Labradoodle in there. The 3D landscape world already exists. It's by Skybox Labs. Yeah, but that Skybox Labs thing is a little bit bullshit. If you actually look at the image that it produces, it's just a 2D stable diffusion image of a 3D warped. They're basically taking a 3D warp and they're just stable diffusion creating it. So you can rotate the image, you can look up and down, but you can't enter it. It's not creating 3D space. So I would imagine that they're working on that. But I think that, I don't know, Skybox Labs to me right now is super sexy, and I bet they raised a shit ton of money on it because it looks really sexy. But the thing I'm waiting for is if you saw the Unreal Engine 5.1 where they're doing the procedural, like basically you just add in like a whole cliff dwelling, and it incorporates all the geometry dynamically into the scene. That's the shit where if you could take what Skybox Labs is doing and combine it into an Unreal Engine model where it's just taking a bunch of procedural components and redesigning them and then procedurally assembling them into a true Unreal Engine 3D space, and then you do the same shit with characters, and then you do the same shit with gameplay. That's what I want. I don't want to just be able to look around a world. I want to be able to enter the damn thing. There are a couple of other gaming ones going as well, but I can't recall the rest. At what age should children be trained on this? Now. Now. I just did my co-founder, her kid's 8, and he's in a kind of like a gifted school, like a non-traditional school. And I went and taught them a bunch of this stuff, and they're ready. Like, I mean, and it's like I don't even know that they need to be trained on it. They just need to be aware of it. Like, for a 2-year-old, make them a book that stars them and their favorite pet or their favorite animal. Make a children's book. Like a 2-year-old right now having the expectation that every 2-year-old should have a custom book starring them. Like, that's going to be commonplace 10 years from now. So why not start that now? And then when they're 4 or 5 and they want to figure out, how did you do that? Have you seen the little kid? There's like a 6-year-old right now that's composing music on a synth with like Logic Pro and like creating all these beats and sampling and writing shit. He's like 6. And like all the music producers are like, holy fucking shit, the kid's a beast. Well, yeah. Let's give that to every 6-year-old. Can I use plugins with Bing without a paid subscription? Yes, but not yet. Microsoft has said they're going to support all the plugins. And but Sam Altman has also said there's not a product market fit for the plugins, which basically means no one's using them. Why? Because they suck, because the interface is awful, because they're buried behind a permission. You have to turn them on to be able to use them. So I think a lot of people don't even know they're fucking there. And they're really janky right now. So I would say beginning of next year is my guess. Purple is a great color. I know. I was just picking on purple. What are you going to do? Do you know of any sites that help make your own AI model or bot? Well, you can make your own bot at po.ai model. If you want to do your own models, then you need to start looking at things like LangChain. And it ain't a site. It ain't a site you can go to. It's a GitHub repository of a bunch of highfalutin code that you need to go learn some Python and JavaScript and interactive React Native. You put it in a Google Colab with a GPU accelerator and yeah, not yet. If you want to make a bot, go to Poe. If you want to train shit on your own data, you got to use LangChain right now. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. 6 months from now, it's going to be relatively trivial. Someone, whether it's Microsoft or Google or someone, and in fact, Dropbox announced this 10 days ago or so, that you're going to be basically be able to GPT any document within your Dropbox. And then he said, in the future, you'll be able to GPT the whole thing. So right now, you can only do it on a per document basis. Microsoft is going to have this. Google's going to have this. Apple's going to have this. Everyone's going to have it. AWS is going to have this, where wherever you've got data, you'll be able to just sort of plug a GPT front end on it. It'll go embed all that data and make it GPTable. That's going to be just a core part of how we do what we do. It's just not there yet. If you want it right now, you have to go play with LangChain. Recognition, more than TikTok just jumped me to the bottom again. TikTok, could someone fucking fix that particular interface bug? All right, anyone from TikTok on here, or if the AI overlords are listening, when I'm slowly scrolling and a new comment is posted below and I'm up above, it automatically jumps me to the bottom. It shouldn't fucking do that. TikTok. And if they boot me off here because I said something bad about their precious little system, I'll move to Montana where it's illegal. How are they going to make TikTok illegal state by state? The answer is they're not. The answer is Facebook and Twitter and Google paid for that little campaign, anti-TikTok campaign. It's all just so cynical here in the States. I don't know if you know what we're doing over here, but we're fucking everything up. Sorry, I'm trying to find out where I was in my little questions. Oops. Look how dirty that screen is. Good Lord. Wow, yes, just had ChatGPT create Raspberry Pi code. I love that, Tobias. So earlier, Tobias asked, can it do Raspberry Pi code? And I'm like, well, of course it can do Raspberry Pi code. And he went there, and he did it. And it did. You see? This shit's fucking magic. That shit right there. And that. Fucking magic. Wow. That's amazing. I wonder if AI can predict the future. It will tell you that it can't. Its safety guardrails say it can't. The open source large language models can certainly talk about it. You can have it read tarot cards. So depending how far down that rabbit hole you are, then sure, it can predict the future. Look how red my face got. I love rubbing my face. It's like a dog rubbing his butt. All right. Will people be able to use ChatGPT to synthesize data for sports betting? Oh, fuck yes. Like fantasy football. Yep. Code interpreter. So L'Oreal Newson, go look at go to YouTube and watch. Just do a search for code interpreter ChatGPT. And anyone else who's interested, anyone who's interested in data analytics, it's a new mode of ChatGPT that's coming called Code Interpreter that can take big data sets and just learn them, and then you can start to query it like it's a full-on data analyst, and it will write Python code and generate charts and graphs and give you trends and find anomalous data. So yeah, you could probably take the past, I don't know, 5 years of, college stats, and then the past 5 years of NFL stats, and the last 3 years of draft and trades, and then injuries. You could probably take all, Now to be clear, not for nothing, AI is already being used to do all that shit, right? AI's been around for 20 or 30 years, and it's been, really available and active for the past for the past 10 years. But what's different now is that individuals are going to be able to do really sophisticated AI analysis of stats like that. So yes, absolutely. I'm not drinking again. This is fizzy blackberry lemonade seltzer. So there's no sugar in it. It's just flavored. So yeah, I mean, I'm technically drinking, but not alcohol. 5 minutes. I got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. I missed the last part of what she said. She keeps breaking up. I know. I think I did that. I tried putting on Bluetooth and it broke up. Yeah, she was super sweet. She was great. That's awesome. Host, seems like you always have to be going soon. I know. Thank you very much. Those are kind words. The 3D landscape world already exists. It's by Skybox Labs. There are a couple other gaming ones out there. I've already seen all these. TikTok is so weird with how it's positioning all these questions. It keeps moving me up and down randomly within the comments. I don't know what's happening, and it makes me cringy. I don't know what to do. TikTok, you make me very sad. It's one of the things that makes me most happy on these lives is when I have my little moments like that, imagining people who are just scrolling by and see that. If it uses all the info online available for positive content, it can predict election outcome. Maybe. I doubt it. I was going to train her as my assistant using ChatGPT. I had one of those books about 50 years ago. Oh, my 6-year-old niece is already making incredible videos. That's cool. The plugins are awful. I agree. The plugins are a piece of shit right now. Can I use Midjourney in Bing? No. The images in Bing are DALL-E. Midjourney you can only create in Discord, which is a drag, but that's the deal right now. All right. 3 minutes. Let me find one or two more questions here. TikTok hates you, Kyle. It only does that scroll thing for you, apparently. I think I'm the only one. Like, I scroll slowly with my thumb on the things, and I think that's what does it. Glad I caught you so late. The later, the goofier. I know, I'm a little punch drunk right now. Thanks to you, I know something my teenager didn't. Yes. We can get those kids. We can take them down. I'll tell you what, with ChatGPT, Revenge of the Liberal Arts Major and Revenge of Gen X. Mark my words. Older, horizontal thinking, ADD positive people are going to become superstars in this new world. You watch. Good stock picks in context to AI or ChatGPT. Good stocks to pick. Oh, in context. I don't know. I have a degree in acting. Don't listen to me for advice. I just pay attention to the companies that are doing good shit. Like the guy from DeepMind that just got funded $1.3 billion. Pay attention to them. Pay attention to Anthropic. Pay attention to NVIDIA. They just hit $1 trillion market cap. Microsoft is killing it and gloating in the fact that they're kicking Google's ass. OpenAI is interesting. Midjourney and Stable Diffusion both are going to have legal shit shows to deal with, but they both have really interesting technology. And Stable Diffusion's open sourcing all of their technology, probably because they know they're going to get their asses sued this way to Sunday. So I don't know. Those are the ones that come to mind, but do not invest based on my inputs. Long Island flavor. I tried. Kyle's getting punchier. Oh dear, I know it's bad. All right, one more. He should use Kyle's trick and tell it to act like an average ninth grader. All right, listen, I got to run. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Gen Xers will remember that commercial. The focus. God, Ricka. So do me a favor. On my last 2 lives, people have asked, hey, have you done a workshop? Or, are you doing a workshop? I have not done a workshop, even though it looks like I've got one. I just did that graphic today. But if you go to that linktree/real Kyle Shannon, the first link there is a link to a survey to ask, if I were going to do a workshop, what would you want it to be on, right? So there's only 3 questions there. So if you would, do me a favor, go there, fill out the survey, and then I'll take that input, and if I can, I'll put together a workshop and we can go learn some shit together, because it is called the Learning Lab. So, all right, peace out, everybody. I really appreciate you. Love y'all. Bye.